Black magic.
You got to know, got to show, it's time to roll. So just tell me what you want to hear. Tell me what you want, so just tell me what you want to hear.
Welcome back to another edition of Rat GTV. It's your boy Zeus, and with me, as he is every single week, the well and wingnut himself, Steve Lambert. How's it going, brother?
What's up, man? We're in it now, eh?
We are in it indeed. I am sweating up a storm. I've also got the studio lights going, so I mean, like, that's not helping too much, but oh, wow. I think it said with the Humidex today, we're looking at, 33.
Yeah.
Which is insane for this area this time of year. It is a hot one, folks. But I hope everybody's enjoying it. I am sitting here. I am enjoying my Riff Raff marijuana cigarette. I want to give a big shout out to the fine folks over at Inspired Cannabis over at 515 Ontario Road in Welland, Ontario. If you're looking for some bud to smoke and you're in Welland, go on over there, legal, dispensary, tell them Zeus sent you. You're going to get yourself a 5% discount. I'm just saying, it's not too bad. Not too shabby. But yes, so thank you. There's our shout out to Inspired Cannabis. And Luke, what's going on, brother? How you doing, buddy? Clanny says hi. Clanny always says hi, buddy. He's always there for you.
Always high.
Clanny's always high, as we can see right here. Clanny being Clanny, doing Clanny things. Yeah, we're happy to have you here. And anyone else that's joining in. If it's your first time here and you're wondering what's going on with Clanny there,
Join us.
yeah, go watch some of our older shows. Clanny's like our mascot. Hi, as a kite. Hi, Ronnie. How's it going, buddy? Did you find out Steve's movie review from last week and his score? I know you were asking around. Did you actually give Ron your review?
No, I don't think I did. And I don't even know what movie I did last week.
I think it was 4 out of 5, whatever you gave it. No. It was it The Quiet Place 2? And you didn't like it?
Jungle Cruise.
Jungle Cruise, that's right. Because we did our rock show.
Right.
Yeah, it was what it was.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, so
My review was, I'll be blunt. This cruise hit a rock early and often.
And what did you give that movie out of 5?
I think I gave it a 2.5.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think I do remember that. It was a rock movie.
Yeah.
It was a Disney movie. It was a movie for kids though, so
Yeah.
that's why we don't shit on stuff like that. I used to shit on stuff like that all the time, but
It wasn't horrible. It wasn't horrible. It just got a little weird for me at the end there.
you know what it was for me, where I stopped kind of bitching at the movies I don't like, especially when it comes to like stuff that was made or remakes of stuff from when we were a kid, is when every time they make those properties, they were making them for kids.
Right.
And, those properties didn't outgrow us. We outgrew them. So if we don't like where they're at now, that's not on the cartoons. That's on us. That being said, that new Jellystone is just whack. I'm kidding. It's I'm still not sure if I like it or hate it, honestly. But
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to check it out yet.
In the last episode, so throughout the entire thing, so it's I mentioned what it was like, right?
Right.
Jellystone, and it's basically the town of Jellystone, and Yogi Bear, Sydney Bear, and Boo Boo are doctors. Well, Boo Boo's a nurse. Huckleberry Hound's the mayor.
Right.
Say again?
And Kevin Costner? Oh, wait, no, that's Yellowstone.
That's Yellowstone. Yeah, that's next door.
Right.
People make that mistake when they try going camping in Niagara Falls all the time, because we have Jellystone. But they show everybody from Hanna-Barbera. The only ones I haven't seen have been the Jetsons or the Flintstones. And the last episode I watched, though, the Great Gazoo was in it.
Wow.
So
Hey, Dum
it
Dum.
stands to reason this is the same universe, but we have to wait for them to go into the past and then into the future. I'm assuming someone will make a time machine in one episode and we'll get Fred, Barney, and George and Wheezy. Wait, it wasn't Wheezy, was it? It was George and Jane. Jane, his wife. I want to get high at the sky. You're kissing your life goodbye. Is that from a song that I don't know? I thought it was okay.
I believe that's a Keats.
Ron says he thinks the Jungle Cruise was okay. I mean, yeah, it was okay. Got to remember, if we don't give something like a 5 out of 5, or in my case, when I do 10s, a 10 out of 10, that's not us saying it's a shitty movie. A lot of times you guys come at me when I give a movie like a 7.5 out of 10. Like, that's a fucking great score. I mean, it could be under 5.
There are very few 10s.
Exactly. Very, very few 10s. And my knee-jerk reaction was Suicide Squad. I gave it a 9.5, but I did put down it was my knee-jerk score reaction. I did watch it again today, and I'll wait till after your review to give my review. But I used to love watching Yogi's Christmas. Still love it, and I'm 40 plus. Won't say how old. I love it too, man. Love the Yogi's Christmas. I love all the Yogi Bear stuff and all the Hanna-Barbera. We have here in Canada, especially in Ontario, we have Canada's Wonderland. And growing up, a big part of it was at the time Hanna-Barbera land. So we would go around and, like at Disneyland, where you guys would have Mickey Mouse and all that, we would have Fred Flintstone and Yogi Bear and Huckleberry Hound and the Pink Panther. Yeah. And that wasn't even Mrs. McIver. That's some inside baseball right there, folks. Honestly, my whole job here is just
on my teeth.
I knew it. We'll go get Mr. Michaels to get it off. This is some serious inside baseball. Only Steve and I get. Sometimes my only mission in life here is just to try to make Steve pop during the show. Like like sometimes I'm not worried about the laugh from you guys. I'm worried about it from Steve.
I say that to guys that I laugh all the time at work. They'll laugh at something. I'll look at them, and I know it was kind of an awkward laugh, and I'll be like, "That's okay, man. You don't have to laugh at everything." I'm like, some of these are just for me.
Yeah, like so many times I say jokes that are just for me, and people look at me like I'm just huge fucking weirdo. You're right, I am. I own it. Gen X, yo. Well, how can you not love the modern Stone Age family? Okay, so when I was growing up, one of my least favorite jokes and very racist jokes growing up was one about the Jetsons and the Flintstones. And Steve knows where I'm going with this one already. People would say this to me all the time, and I hated it. Why are there no black people in the Jetsons or the Flintstones? Because I guess the future and the past is looking bright. Or something along those lines. I forget what the exact joke was, but it was, yeah. So, yeah, we're not in either one of those shows. To be fair, though, when people make TV, they try to make TV to reflect the people that are watching it. And in United States back then, in the 50s and 60s when Flintstones came out, really, they were aimed at the white American family, you know? Yeah, which it is what it is, but damn, man.
And that too was in the white as well at the time.
You look at Lucille Ball. I would love to give a huge shout out, and this is a shout out again to the Storytime guy. We had Matthew on a few weeks ago from TikTok. Go follow him at the Storytime guy. He put up a post lately about Lucille Ball. Now, all of us geeks know how Lucille Ball was one of the producers on Star Trek, the original series, and how she had saved that show from being canceled and pushed for it for being on there. What I didn't realize was, as you can hear, my window's open. What I didn't realize was that Desi Arnaz, her husband, was also a producer on that show. And did you know that not once on the entire run of I Love Lucy did they ever mention Ricky's ethnicity or his accent or make any race-based jokes or anything at all like that? And like that was something that they consciously did. I'm like, that shit blows me away. I know we're not in our stories yet, but that one, I just really love that story and just makes you love Lucy and Desi Arnaz that much more, and wish they would have been able to work it out.
That reminds me of something I want to bring up, and it's totally non-related to anything, so I'll do it before we get started. Do you know where the term blockbuster came from?
Well, if I remember correctly, it was the first time famed artist and just Renaissance man himself, Salvador Dali, got a glimpse of me with my shirt off. No,
Fair.
no.
So I was listening to you like the podcast like I do, and we listened to I listened to Smart List, which is Jason Bateman, Sean Hayes, and Will Arnett.
Yeah.
And the premise is every week one of them brings on a guest, the other two don't know who it's going to be, so they're totally unprepared. And they had J.J. Abrams on recently, and they were talking about the term blockbuster, and it just seems so obvious once you hear it. I was like, but they were talking about Jaws, and Jaws was the first time the term was really used when that came out. And then it became like kind of widespread when Star Wars came out a few years later. And it was because people were literally lined up around the block. And I remember going to see Star Wars on Main Street in the old theater we had downtown. I remember we were lined up.
That?
It's like on Main Street, and I remember lining up on Division.
Yeah. But just we were 2 years old, so I don't.
Oh, no, it wouldn't have been the original run. It was. Yeah.
You know what I remember? And it wasn't a block per se, but it was as long as a block, was the Seaway Mall, Ghostbusters 2, and the lineup going from the mall theater, went all the way past Wizard's Castle, went past Campus Crew, went down to basically where the food court was, and then back again and looped around. We had to sit on the floor in the front row just to be able to get into that movie to watch it, and we didn't care until we watched it, and we were like, "Oh fuck, this is nowhere near as good as the first one." Let's be honest, part 2 is pretty shit.
Yeah.
Ooh La La, Zeus Without a Top. That's right. Blockbuster.
Jesus Christ, I broke my pen. How am I supposed to do a show without a pen?
Just use the inside. That's what I would do. All right, so we are talking this week. We both went and saw the Suicide Squad. That's going to be your 5-second movie review this week. And like I said, I give it a 9.5. I said that it's an absolutely ridiculous and absurd fucking movie. And for me, I don't know what yours is, and I don't want to spoil anything yet. I don't know your review, but for me, it was such a fun fucking movie, despite how absurd and ridiculous it was. So that is our theme for this week. While we're doing this, let us know what are your most favorite ridiculous and absurd movies that shouldn't work, but they just seem to work, at least for you. And yeah, that's what we do in this week.
I'm not going to try and give away whether I liked it or not, but I will tell you that there's one character in this movie, and I'm telling you, if he does not get his own spin-off, I will pen this movie myself.
Do you know how often I keep hearing this too? Like, you're not the only one. I know who you're talking about, and you're not the only one saying that. I'm hearing so much about that, and I'm literally shocked that everyone's on that same page. But with that in mind, though, let's not get to that because I don't want to spoil it for fans. Let's get to this right away. Steve, you start us off like you do every week. Let's hear your top 5 ridiculously absurd movies that you.
So this movie came out in 1997, and it was a blockbuster, as we say. Starring Nicolas Cage and John Travolta. This movie, I know plastic surgery was a big thing in the 90s. A lot of cosmetic surgery was being done and stuff like that, and that's when it was really starting to get, widely practiced. But this movie should not have worked.
No, this movie should not have worked at all. The body shape is different. Never mind just being able to take off someone's face, put it onto yours surgically, and then the other person do the same, and then still be able to fool people. You wouldn't have the same hairline. You wouldn't have the same hair. It wouldn't have been the same hair. This movie was so fucking stupid, and I absolutely love it as well. It's just over the top. in every particular way you can think of. It's
It had a budget of $80 million and it made $245.7 million.
Shit, that is pretty impressive. I'm not gonna lie. Idris not bad. Back from carrying the other cast through the movie. No, I don't know about that, honestly. Suicide Squad was ridiculous and fun. Loved it. Loved Face Off, especially when he gestures Face Off. Right. I just wanted them to do some type of face off, like a hockey face off at some point, honestly. Really.
Touche.
Is that too much to ask for?
Next, we're definitely not in the $80 to $245 million range, but this movie left its mark, and its premise was so ridiculous. Who else could it have came from but other than Lloyd Kaufman at Troma Films? And in 1984, he gave us The Toxic Avenger.
Oh, Lloyd.
This movie spawned 3 sequels, a TV series, a musical, and now we're waiting for 2022 for the newest incarnation of The Toxic Avenger. The original was made for $500,000 and made $800,000. So,
and who's making this one? Robert Rodriguez?
I'm not sure.
Or Eli Roth or somebody? It's somebody who's got a really big budget. And they approached Kevin Smith first. And he turned it down because of the budget. He's like, this is the most farthest thing away from The Toxic Avenger.
Cheers.
Oh, I'm going to be doing that pretty soon. Mine was just delivered. Did yours just get delivered too? How does that? Your delivery person's my delivery person. How does that happen? Your delivery person's literally downstairs. The Toxic Avenger was hilarious. Yeah, man. You know what else I really loved? Like, everyone goes to Toxic Avenger. You know what my favorite Uncle Lloyd movie was? Nuke 'Em High. Like, honestly, the part where he's in the bathroom taking a piss in the stall, and then the mutant chick walks in beside him and stands up and takes a piss too. I don't know why that has stuck with me for 40 years almost. Oh my God, we're old. Right?
Yeah, this one it could have very easily been my number one because this premise is so ridiculous. We've had so many different time travel movies, so many different time travel machines, phone booths. Just I remember a movie about a time traveling camera.
You're right.
But this one took it somewhere different and gave us Hot Tub Time Machine, starring Craig Robinson, Rob Corddry, Clark Duke, and John Cusack, who was missing from the second one. Gee, I wonder why. Maybe he read the script.
Well, he was in the second one though, but he doesn't come into the end credit scenes.
Oh, right. First one was made for $36 million, made 64.6, not bad for a comedy, doubled its money. Almost double its money. The second one made more money than I thought it did. It made for $18 million, made 13.
All right, sweet. Sorry, my delivery just got here.
Cheers.
Cheers, indeed. Just a mini. I got 2 minis. 2 mini-me's. All right, sweet. Thank you, and thank you to our delivery person. We appreciate you. And we're catching up. We'll be catching up with you soon there, Luke. He says, I'm on Bushmills whiskey, but Jack is pretty good. Have you heard of, do we have Bushmills here?
I don't know if we have that here or not.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I would be down to try it, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Terminator shouldn't work, but look at the spinoffs. Terminator 1 and 2 both make complete sense.
Yeah.
As opposed, for them being time travel movies where, these homicidal sentient robots from the future are trying to kill us. But, I mean, I don't know if it's ridiculous. It was believable sci-fi. It's science fantasy mixed with a little bit of science fiction. So it's hard to say, really. But, yeah. Luke also says Hot Tub Time Machine. Epic.
Great movie. Love watching that one. This next one, you want to talk about taking it somewhere different. This movie, even as a horror movie, should not have worked. And not only did this one work, but it spawned a huge cult following and gave us 2 more sequels to complete the trilogy. Each one worse than the next. Human Centipede. Now, I didn't watch this movie right away when it came out. Just the concept alone, it was definitely disturbing, even for me. But finally watching the movie, it's not one of those movies where it goes for the shock value. It really doesn't. You really rarely see them together, all attached. It's a lot of implied stuff, which is sometimes worse.
Yeah, I was just gonna say when you have to imagine it yourself,
Right.
that is going to be 10 times worse.
Tom Six, who was writer, director, producer on this, like I said, got 2 more sequels. The second one being about a guy who worked in a parking garage who was obsessed with the movie Human Centipede and wanted to try this himself. Now this one, if you have a weak stomach, is definitely not like the first one. There is nothing implied here. It is all visual, all right in your face. It is disgusting. And then he go ahead and made a third one. And because I'm a freaking sicko cinephile, I have to complete the trilogy. This movie was unwatchable. It starred the doctor from the first one as a prison warden. It starred the guy from the parking garage playing a different character as his like lackey. And the concept was to bring the human centipede to the prison system. And as the governor, it was Eric Roberts.
Oh, hey.
I don't think I need to say anything else.
I like Eric Roberts. I don't know why everyone hates on Eric Roberts. Like, for real, though. I mean, best of the best, Joe. Best of the fucking best.
Yeah,
then,
I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one.
And the bad guy in the first Expendables movie. And
you know what? I've still never seen any of the Expendable movies.
Have you seen any of the Fast and the Furious movies?
Yeah.
Same deal. Same deal, but with guns.
Yeah. And but certainly not least, this movie was so ridiculous. It was so funny. It gave us 1 sequel which didn't do as well, but this one was just a monster hit. Like I said, comedies don't generally do well at the box office, especially back in the 80s and 90s. It was more relying on the home video sales, which this one did really well in that category. Weekend at Bernie's, starring Andrew McCarthy, Jonathan Silverman, and Terry Kaiser, who me and Ryan love from Night Court and so many other great things. One of your first interviews at Comic-Con. I
think it was my first ever interview at Comic-Con was with Terry Kaiser.
And we had actually just watched Weekend at Bernie's a couple weekends previous, and he was just yucking it up with us. So fucking animated. Such a great. And he grabs Austin. And hey, you want to get your picture with me too, buddy? He's like, you probably don't even know who I am. I'm like, actually.
We remember you as Craven. Night Court, my God, what a great actor!
He's been in so much. This one was made for $15 million, made $30.2 million. The sequel made for $7 million, actually made 12.7. I was surprised.
Damn, that is not bad at all.
Then this one even more ridiculous. Did you see the second one?
No. Oh, Weekend at Bernie's? Yeah.
They had to get the body to get into the offshore account, and
somehow no kind of decay had set in.
So when they played music, he would get up and
he did the limbo. Didn't they limbo in that one?
Yeah, I think so.
Like, never mind. It had been like months or something like that they'd been away from the body. How is it not decayed? Like, please, folks. One we can understand. You're doing it again? I don't think so. So nice list. What does everybody think of Steve's list there? Let us know. Let us know what your list is for your most ridiculous movies that, just happen to be your favorites that did well. So I'm going to go with mine here. This isn't really any particular order, or maybe it is. Number 5 on my list. This is a ridiculous movie, but it has a great cast, and it did really, really well in the box office as well. Everybody loves this movie, and it's just a movie that is absolutely ridiculous because it brought us tunes from across different mediums. Warner Brothers and Disney working together. Bugs Bunny and Mickey Mouse on the same freaking screen. What am I talking about? None other than Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Great movie here. I mean, Christopher Lloyd in this movie. Why am I forgetting his name right in front of us, though, right now? Also played Super Mario. He was in Hook. Played Smee. Bob Hoskins.
Bob Hoskins, yes.
I mean, just a great movie and incredibly, I think, forgotten about these days.
Yeah.
Because people just don't talk about that. Especially, this is one of the best ever animation live action movies I think we've ever had. I mean, it's definitely better than Song of the South or Sound of the South.
So I almost was going to review Space Jam this week and then decided to watch Suicide Squad at the last second. I saw about 20 minutes of Space Jam 2.
Yeah, really? That bad? So I watched Space Jam 2 as well. It tries really hard. But it's one of those things we said earlier about being made for kids. I think that movie is, or at least they say they do. I mean, there's a lot of adult references in there. Clockwork. Like if you watch the game, you see the cast from Clockwork Orange in the back. You see Game of Thrones characters. You see Rick and Morty. I mean, but it's for kids.
Yeah.
Chad Golden says Talladega Nights to mine. That I said earlier. Yeah, and I can see that.
I'm on fire.
I almost said, but the only reason why I didn't say any of those because I'm not a fan of Will Ferrell. But you could put him and Jim Carrey and a lot of their movies out there for what I consider ridiculous and absurd that were really popular. If we weren't talking about that I liked, like for our own personal preferences, those two would have been probably top of my list. I wouldn't even have named a movie. I just would have said them, like their movies altogether, like ridiculous, and people just freaking love them. Fast and the Furious, same deal, honestly. Any Monty Python movies, love The Meaning of Life. Shouldn't work, but damn. Loved Roger Rabbit. Yeah, Roger Rabbit was great, but
Easy for
basically,
you to say.
no, it's not. It's because I haven't had a chance to pour my drink yet. I still have water in here. I got to chug so I could put just Jack Daniels in here.
Stay hydrated, kids.
Cheers. So, up next on my list, now I don't know. I asked you earlier if you'd seen this movie. You weren't sure at all. I had to throw on an absolutely ridiculously absurd action movie. And this is one of my favorites. If you haven't seen it, there's a lot of subtitles, but honestly, you don't need to know what the hell's going on at all in this movie. It's a movie that introduced us to one of my favorite actors who plays Sub-Zero right now and also plays Long Z in War, and that's Joe Taslim in The Raid. This movie is absolutely batshit crazy. The fight scenes that you see on Daredevil, like the Netflix show Daredevil, and Luke Cage and Iron Fist, all these hallway scenes, and I would even argue Rogue One, Darth Vader's hallway scene, all inspired from this movie. This movie is basically just the cops in this, I believe they're in Hong Kong. They try to raid this big drug building, and they work their way from the top floor down to the bottom. And it's basically just the two cops that make it through, and violent as you can believe. And my God, just epic. You guys ever see Ice Pirates? Oh my God, Ice Pirates, great movie. Robert Yursich, not Yursich, that's one of our friends, but Urich. And Ron Perlman. That was the one with the eunuchs. First time I ever learned what a eunuch was. Howard the Duck. The Raid is fantastic. Yeah, exactly. Great movie. Kung Fu Judge Dredd. Yeah, that's a great way to put that. That is a great way to put that. Talking of subtitles, The Raid is great. It's like Das Boot. Don't judge a movie by subtitles. I know it's hard, but some of the best movies are subtitled. Exactly. I've been watching a lot of them lately too, because right now, if you want to watch good American movies, you have to watch like superhero popcorn flick type movies. if you want to watch like good films and stuff, whether it be horror movies, Western type, or just thrillers, whatever, you got to go foreign, honestly, because foreign films are where a lot of people are doing like old school cinema. The stuff that Martin Scorsese is all about.
Yeah.
We'll get to that later. No, I promise. So up next on my list, The Raid. As I said, go check that out if you want to see a pretty fun movie. The next one up on my list is the one right behind my head. You see here. We could have used life, the meaning of life, but Monty Python's The Search for the Holy Grail. For our age and where we grew up, and the time that Steve and I grew up, this was the big Monty Python movie of that time. And I think arguably, even of that franchise, a lot of people might say that's the best one of them all.
So I have a confession to make.
Don't you dare.
I've never actually seen more than probably 5 to 10 consecutive minutes of Monty Python.
So, folks, send your hate mail to wellandwingnut@gmail.com. No, I get it, because everyone used to rave about Fawlty Towers and Monty Python.
Right.
And I'm with you with all of it except for this one. I just loved this movie growing up. It is ridiculously absurd. It should not be funny. The guy's going around on invisible horses, but they got someone going behind them.
Yeah, I know a lot of the bits, obviously, just from pop culture, and yeah.
But for me, it's a fantastic movie, and when you think of ridiculous and absurd, it has to really be up there. And honestly, it almost didn't make my list. I was going back and forth between it and Airplane, to be honest, because they're both really ridiculous. What do we got here? Robert James Cole, Sakaya. I can't say that. Western Django is a wacky movie. It's all Japanese actors speaking broken English. Ooh, I'll check it out. Netflix are hammering foreign movies right now, but they're dubbed. Still good. Yeah, man. That's 10 minutes too many. Talking about.
Luke, have you seen Blood Red Sky yet? Speaking of Netflix and subtitles. Check it out.
Life of Brian, I think, is the best. Holy Grail is far more quotable, though. I agreed. Steve, how could you? Life of Brian is amazing. Stone him. Steve hasn't probably even seen any of Life of Brian, though. If he's if he hasn't even seen Search for the Holy Grail. All of Monty Python movies are great and so weird. I recently found out that Michael Caine has a cameo in Meaning of Life. Now Airplane is awesome. Airplane is fantastic. It's the UK version of Mel Brooks, and he's only funnier.
Speaking of,
it's time to put down the whiskey, Luke. Chad says, my kid loves Kung Fu Hustle. I almost put Kung Fu Hustle on here just for the grandmother. Is it grandmother? I think it was a granny. You've seen the scene with the old lady, the old Asian lady. She's got the cigarette hanging out of her mouth, and she's got the hatchets. And,
yeah.
So fucking great. I just did Steve last night. You just did Steve last night. Amber!
Damn it, I've been Cosby'd again.
It's on my list, Steve. Whoa, geez, Steve. The Red movie.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce Willis?
Blood,
I love that movie.
Yeah.
But that's based on a comic book, so it's hard to say. I mean, you expect it to be ridiculous. But it is based on a non-superhero comic book, so. Lou says, The Good, the Bad, and the Weird. Subtitle Korean Western. All right. Ban that, man. Aeroplane was always epic. True. Now I'm feeling bad for not choosing it. But hey, the show must go on, kids. And in this show, this one could have been my number one and maybe should have been my number one. I'm surprised it didn't make Steve's list at all, quite honestly. Uh-oh. Well, one of the things that I could say about this movie is any movie where you can have someone who they're their own best friend is a great movie. And of course, I'm talking about Mog and Spaceballs. Hey, He's a man and a dog. He's his own best friend. And Mela Schwartz be with you. Yeah, this movie for me is just up there. One of the most quotable movies of all time. I mean, Mel Brooks is fantastic in almost every movie you watch, but none of them can be remade these days, it seems. Yeah, I don't know. Check that out, though. Spaceballs, The Face Mask. I mean, I'm still waiting for Spaceballs, The Search for More Money. Like, wasn't that supposed to be the thing?
Yeah.
What do we got here?
Baseball's the flamethrower. The kids love this one.
Hello from Texas, y'all. Just coming from a toy fair. Already broke buying collectibles. Well, what'd you get, Edson?
Yeah, man.
That's pretty awesome. I just dropped one of mine, but here's my latest one that I got, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it. And I hope I just didn't pull my mic out there. I shouldn't still be buying stuff, but I had to. And I had to get this white Doctor Doom. Marvel Legends. I didn't have a Doctor Doom. I saw a Doctor Doom, and it's a badass Doctor Doom. So I had to get it. That's what happens. Yes, that's why I'm still single. I mean, actually, there's many reasons, but that's among them. Unbelievable bullshit. Dark Helmet. Yes, Dark Helmet. I'm surrounded by assholes. Just awesome, Steve. Heck yeah. Cool. And Doctor Doom is my favorite superhero. I mean, you're not wrong to say that, because Doctor Doom is very much like Black Adam, where even though the rest of the world sees them as villains and supervillains, their own people usually see them as the heroes because they're looking out for their countries above all. But a lot of times, though, they'll even hurt their own people. Like, Doom could be a dictator dick, and so could Black Adam. I'm still looking for a bald He-Man. Right here, bitch. He also gave the world back after taking it over a few times. Yeah. I mean, Doctor Doom's badass. And then I've got this guy too. You might not be able to see him because this guy's big and green. Oh yeah. You can see some purple pants though, can't you? I'm sorry. It's Hulk. Anyways, that's it. That was it for my I mean, there's lots more, but let's get on with the show. And I believe I've got one last one here. And my favorite, and this was one, I don't know, it is such a guilty pleasure. It did not do well in the box office. It is very much a cult classic. You really, really have to like Bruce Willis to really, really enjoy Hudson Hawk. I mean, the cast is fucking great, though. When you look at this, you got Andy McDowell, Danny Aiello, Richard Grant from The Mandalorian, or in Star Wars, I should say, is in this. But, what's his name?
Andrew Barowski.
David Caruso. Yeah! From CSI. As I poke myself in the eye pretending that I have sunglasses on. You know what? So corny, so campy. And this is what, early 90s maybe? Like he's just getting out of jail and Danny Aiello's like, you want to go play some Nintendo? And he's like, what's a Nintendo? I mean, it's so good. They pull heists by singing songs. That's how they keep track of time. They don't use stopwatches. It is absolutely stupid in every way that you could think, and it works for me. I love this movie so much. The ambulance scene when when he gets kicked out of the ambulance and he's falling behind on the stretcher, and he's sitting there and he's holding on, and then somebody flicks a cigarette out the window of their car and he catches it, takes a drag. Ew, menthol. Like, really? It's so absolutely ridiculous. And I don't blame anybody for hating that movie at all, but to me, it is my favorite guilty pleasure. It's like Cheese Whiz and olive sandwiches before I went vegan. I just love them for no reason. They make no sense. Oh my God. Okay, so Remo Williams, I fucking love that movie too. I forgot about that. I'm not saying it's better than Hudson Hawk. There's a lot of fucking movies that are better than Hudson Hawk, but there's no movie that's more ridiculously better than Hudson Hawk, in my opinion. But I loved Remo Williams. That gave us a young.
No?
Well, I knew the first one. I'd watch that one over and over again. Kate Mulgrew was in that, and who plays Janeway on Voyager.
Right.
And she's in Orange is the New Black. She's a Russian cook. In that movie, her name was Agent Ryan Fleming. Not Ryan, Ryne, but still close enough. So that always stuck with me too. But I loved that movie. Him running across the concrete. Do you remember that? Do you remember Remo Williams at all?
I do vaguely, yeah.
Oh my God. It was a ridiculous movie as well. But I watched that one a lot. So random Mr. Rick review. I'm with you there. Did you know all Falcons only live 15 years? So all Falcons are millennial Falcons. You know what? I'm calling bullshit on that pun, Luke, only because we all know that birds aren't real.
Obama.
Would you like to swing on a star? Swing on a star. Ooh, it's not live. Where was that song more famous for you? Like, does that song bring you to Hudson Hawk right away, or to that one? You remember that show with the girl who had Burt Reynolds as her alien father that was in the cube? She could stop.
Yeah, no, I definitely go Hudson Hawk with that.
Out of This World.
Yeah, Out of This World. I remember that.
I love that show.
I love that show too. That's where I first heard Swinging on a Star.
Yeah.
Heinz 57. Can you fucking believe it? And could someone just get the poor guy a cappuccino? Like, really? The jumps across the beam to balance, he dodges a bullet. Oh, and Remo Williams. Yeah, man. And then he's walking across, he runs on his tiptoes across wet cement that's, got to be, it's so deep that the guys following go past their head when they follow him. It's fucking so great. Small Wonder was a good show.
Yeah.
Kate Mulgrew rocks. I meant Swing. No, you didn't. You're drunk. I'm just fucking with it. Not Small Wonder. Yeah, the other one. Out of This World. Out of This World. That's right. And speaking of Out of This World, we just got really out of topic there quickly. But that was what we do, and that's how we finished up our first little segment there. So what did you think of our most ridiculous movies that made sense? I have a movie question for both of you. What did you think of Ice Road Trucker? Steve,
Liam Neeson, I haven't seen it yet.
and I'm gonna second that by I haven't seen it yet either or heard of it. But
yeah, I've definitely heard of it, but I haven't watched it yet.
who's in it?
Liam Neeson is the only person I know that's in it.
I'm good. I mean, and nothing against Liam Neeson. I do like Liam Neeson. I just don't like this Liam Neeson, this action star Liam Neeson. I like Liam Neeson when he acts. I think he's a great actor. But yeah, I'm good, thanks. I wish I were an Oscar Mayer wiener. What, Amber? Amber, you are there, right? I want you to, if you can, get beside Steve and look at the screen for 1 second. And I just want to say, from the bottom of my heart, from me to you.
You've been clan
rolled. That's our clan roll. Oh my God, let's not say that. I was trying to say like a Rick roll. Let's not call it a clan roll. Even though given his look there, clanny, no. We're gonna make that a hard pass. I just watched Space Truckers last night. Pretty bad, but Deb Mazar is in it, which is a plus. I don't know who Deb Mazar is, but I will look for
truck movies though. I did just rewatch over Maximum Overdrive like last week.
That was awful.
Yeah, it doesn't hold up, eh?
Awful.
Independence Day shouldn't work.
That movie was awful.
Independence Day shouldn't work because anti-vaxxers don't believe in the ancient alien theory. They would if Q told them to. Clanny, Luke's got a lot of love for Clanny. You do know. Well, refresh my memory there, random Mr. Rick. Why do I keep calling random Mr. Rick? Random Rick review. I can read. Is Clanny a vegan? He is now. I don't know. Clanny honestly was not an unborn baby shark that they found in the belly of a mother shark. Say again?
I think he mostly ate seafood.
Yeah, I think you're probably correct on that one, sir. Stop it. Just stop it, Luke. Stop it. So before we move on, I do want to give everybody in Canada, if you happen to be looking for internet in the area, anywhere in the area of Canada, and you're looking to save yourself some money, do yourself a favor. Look over Steve's shoulder there, over at DocNet. DocNet.ca. Go give Tony a call over there. Tell him you're looking for some fast internet and you're looking not to pay so much like you do with the major corporations. Do it. Give Tony a call. He'll hook you up. He'll connect your home to the rest of the world. I don't know how I went like that, but hey, we'll take it. I went through a whole like Heinz 57 of different, accents there, and none of them were right. But I want to thank Daniel Van Descent. He sent me a video on how to pronounce certain Australian words. I'll have him down for next week. Canberra. No, I can't do it. But I'm getting there. Spice. Oh, the secondary antagonist in the 1995 film Batman Forever. Been in other stuff, not super famous. I still don't know. Batman Forever. That was Val Kilmer, right? And Poison Ivy. Wasn't it Poison Ivy?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, I don't know. DocNet won't help. Apparently 3,000 miles away is just too far. Yeah. When you see her, you will be like, oh, for sure. I'm sure. I'm like that all the time, honestly. When you guys going to do a live show again at VHC? I don't know. I know they're having a party tonight. We'll see if we're there or we might do somewhere else. Just all depends. Still lots of love for VHC and Mandy and all the folks over there. Might actually go see Mandy later. All right. So, Steve, you do a little thing called the 5-second movie review. And this week, you've got yourself quite the movie that people have been expecting a review for.
Yeah. So the new, sorry, hair on my tongue here. New Suicide Squad movie came out. And I will tell you that the first one I did try to watch.
You did try?
I think I shut it off about 30 minutes in. It just, yeah, I couldn't do the first one. So I was hesitant. I was hesitant to watch this one. And yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. So we'll be getting to that. You'll be giving us your 5-second movie review on James Gunn, The Suicide Squad, as opposed to Suicide Squad, which was the first one. And it's weird. Like, is this a sequel? Because it kind of feels a little bit like a sequel, but they don't acknowledge the first one at all.
The only returning one is Harlequin, right?
No, Boomerang.
Okay.
Boomerang's back. Flag is back. Amanda Waller's back. So all those people are back.
I watched or remember.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest. I didn't mind the first one. My problem with the first Suicide Squad movie was the ending. The CGI ending that they had was just weird, and I don't know, man. You saw a lot of stuff coming, but a lot of people are also saying that's not the Ayers cut, right? So, sorry, as I getting ready to pour myself a drink here to set up for cheers, honey, cheers. Anyways, so as we pour, buddy, tell me some more. Actually, before you do, let's see what we got here. First is not great at all, but was at the movie, so couldn't turn it off. The first Suicide Squad, yep. Batman Forever was Kilmer, but his hypocrisy only goes so far. Oh, we're gonna need some more context on that. Like Val Kilmer's hypocrisy? Whose hypocrisy? Is that like some kind of Greek goddess? Hypocrisy. How does Val become Colin? Too much whiskey. Debbie Mazar played Ray Liotta's side chick in Goodfellas. Thank you. Okay, I know who that is. That's all you had to say. Tombstone quote. Oh, right. Gotcha. Tombstone's another great movie. I had posted a video where they had asked us name one badass lines like said or the most badass thing done in a movie. And for me, there are two lines. The first line, they both come from Wyatt Earp. The first line is Val Kilmer's "I'm Your Huckleberry" as he's coming out. And the best one is Kurt Russell's Wyatt Earp, same movie, at the poker table where he slaps dude in the face as buddy's getting ready to pull his gun out. And he's like, pull it. Slaps him in the face. He's like, you're just going to sit there and bleed all over the place. You're going to do something. At that point, I'm like, Wyatt Earp's from Welland.
I think my all-time favorite line in all of cinema is, I'm here to do two things. Kick ass and chew bubblegum. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Yeah.
You, potato face. Not so bad.
What else? That was also in Dazed and Confused. I just came here to drink beer and kick ass. It looks like I'm all out of beer.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you, Red Bull. Thank you, Amber. But, all right. Tombstone, my hypocrisy only goes so far for Wyatt, and They Live. They Live was great. All right. So we got we got the sponsors out of the way there. Why don't we just get right to your movie review of the Suicide Squad? Because I know folks are going to want to talk about that a bit. So we'll talk about Suicide Squad after your review. I'll talk about what I thought of it as well. And then we'll move. We'll do TikToker of the week, and then we'll do the news. Sound good, folks? Well, if you think that sounds good, well, then I say it is time for Steve's 5-second movie review by Steve. Yeah. All right, so Steve, you're reviewing The Great Cornholio. No, you were reviewing. That's what Ron said. You were reviewing the new James Gunn movie.
My son hates it when I do this, and he beat me for my bug hole.
I so see it. So yeah, you're doing the review for the movie, The Suicide Squad, James Gunn. So yeah, buddy, are you feeling good about this?
I'm ready.
All right, buddy. Well, let's do this. If you're ready, sir, I'm going to put 5 seconds on the board. Let's do it with this hand. And you may begin when you're ready. You may start now.
For the most part, this movie is more fun than a beach full of dicks. I mean, think about how much fun you could have with a beach full of dicks. There's so much potential. I mean, I don't know which one I'd want first. Like, there's Richard Pryor, there's Dick Van Dyke, there's Richard Simmons.
Dude, I can't believe you just Todd Royced me.
Clark.
You just Todd Royced me. Well played, sir. All right, no, seriously, what did you think of the movie?
Yeah, like I said, for the most part, I really enjoyed this movie. I thought the first half, I was in stitches. The first half,
yeah, man,
it was hilarious. Definitely mellowed out for me around the midway point, and probably stayed the course. I'd say for the end of the movie, it wasn't really a disappointment. Just I thought the first hour was so much better, but I liked it.
Yeah, and I'm with you on a lot of that. I said my my knee-jerk reaction, I gave this movie a 9.5 out of 10 because I thought it was that much fun. Like, I have not had that kind of fun in a comic book movie since Thor Ragnarok. And that was just a straight up comedy. This movie, though, like, and I'm with you, where, the first half, I just didn't stop laughing. But the second half, though, where it tapered off for you, for me, that's where the story started to take over. And I'm like, oh, okay, so he's telling an actual story here, too. It's not just comedy. And here's what I love about this movie. And I'm seeing a lot of people, and this is what everyone's doing lately, is they try to say they're trying to be woke with all these, and they make it female-centric or gender. There's none of that in this movie. Harley Quinn is in this movie. This isn't like the first Suicide Squad movie was a Harley Quinn movie. This is not a Harley Quinn movie. If anything, this is a Bloodshot movie.
Right.
And I don't mean to give spoilers there. That's not really giving too much of a spoiler there. But, I mean, it gives all the right beats. We've got Ratcatcher 2 there, where this is the daughter of the original Ratcatcher. So nobody can bitch about, oh my God, they swapped genders or anything like that. And her in the original Ratcatcher, you see him in flashbacks, and it's Taika Waititi, who's,
That's
Taika
right.
Waititi's younger than us, but I feel like he's everybody's grandpa. You know what I mean? You just feel such comfort around that guy. So I honestly loved it. I watched it again today. And after watching it again, I will take the 9.5 away because that was a knee-jerk reaction. But I still give that movie a solid 9. Like, I think this was to me, and people are going to hate me for this, and hate me all you want. This is the greatest comic book movie ever made. I'm not saying it's the greatest comic book film ever made. I still say that's Captain America Civil War. I still really like The Losers a lot, which was another comic book movie. But I'm saying for straight up feel like a comic book movie. This felt like a comic book on the screen the entire time. James Gunn fucking nailed it, and he nailed it with characters that nobody fucking knows. Like, to me, it was really that good.
So without giving spoilers, originally I'm right on par there with you. You said you brought it down to a 9 out of 10. I do my movies out of 5. So I'd say before the last scene, because of the very early death of a character that I so desperately want a spinoff for, I probably would have given this a 3.5. But that last scene bumped it up to a 4.5 for me.
Wow. So that's it. That saved you at the end, huh?
Yeah.
So folks, this isn't a spoiler. There's end credit scenes though, so stick around for those. But that's what bumped them up to a 4 out of 5. It's a big score for you, especially for a superhero comic book movie. Like, I think this is the highest score you've ever given for a comic book movie.
Yeah, it's definitely the up there. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'd have just to think off the top. I mean, Ant-Man, I know I probably scored really high. The first Wonder Woman, I scored fairly high.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Blumhouse is so hot right now. Sorry, I haven't said it yet. Blumhouse, I'm your biggest fan. Contact me for movie money.
I'm with you, Luke.
Sly the Shark killed me.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, there's so much. Like, really though, they're like earned. There's so many. What is Polka Dot Man's real name? Devoicious? David Devoicious or something along those lines? He is fucking fantastic in everything. He was in Ant-Man though. He's one of Ant-Man's crews, like Scott Lang's crew.
Oh, that's right. Right.
He's the Russian dude that hangs out with T.I. all the time in Luis. Will. We are friends. All right. Quickly. Who's better? Groot? King Shark? To me, it's King Shark all the way. I like Groot, but Groot is cute. King Shark is just...
Yeah, I definitely have to go King Shark.
Yeah. King Shark is Lenny from Of Mice and Men. Like, and perfect. Now I want to see Sylvester Stallone play Lenny. He's too old, I know, but D'Onofrio did well. Anyways, Luke says group because I like to be different. What?
John Malkovich.
Right. I'm right. I'm thinking a river runs through it. Wait, didn't? I thought he did play him once, but I could be wrong.
Maybe.
King Shark, nom nom. Legit. Too legit to quit. Hi. All right. So we got a new segment that we've been doing for the last couple weeks called TikToker of the Week. And we've got a new one for us this week, folks. I don't know why camera went to Steve there because, hey, he's our TikToker. But this one I really like. This gentleman, and I should have had it written down here, but we got doing the show really late. But I'm just going to play his video. You'll see his tag on the side there. And at the very end of the video, this guy takes various things, usually food, but not always, and puts it in jars of like 100 proof vodka for over a week or to see how long something changes. Anyways, without any further ado, let's just see. Oh, our TikToker of the week, which is not even up here, isn't even uploaded. See, that's how good I am with this. But
boom.
What's that? Boom.
I said boom.
Boom. Boom. All right. Well, Steve's going to tell you a story while it loads up right now. About deliverance shouldn't be. Oh my God, Luke. Go, Steve.
Poor Ned Beatty. Poor Ned Beatty.
Poor Ned Beatty. Squeal, boy, squeal! And then so well done or replicated by Ben Affleck in Dazed and Confused. Hey, that's 2 Dazed and Confused references we've had tonight. Where they quoted another movie. Oh my God. Was it Linkletter that made Dazed and Confused? Or was that a Linkletter? I forget who was behind that. Will Mahoney's watching, and Will's our movie dude, and he'll know for sure, but I think so. We've got some people talking on TikTok that had some answers for ridiculous movies. Secondhand Lions. I don't know that one.
I know the title, but I can't think of the film.
Says, brilliant story telling of a completely off-the-wall plot. Love it. And that is by V. Pierce 10252. Phoenix Mama, who I believe is our longtime fan from the page, Foxy Mama, or Foxy, Dark City, and Mirror Mask. Now, I've seen Dark City. I don't know Mirror Mask.
No.
And then the last one is Nicole Schroeder, 82. She says, Hudson Hawk, it's campy and wonderful. Love it. Who doesn't? Who doesn't indeed? I heard that I'm Brokeback Mountain. Horses need to put down. Just stop it. Just stop it. And Will says, yes, it was Richard Linkletter. I thought so. Thank you, Will. Without further ado, though, let's take a look at our TikToker of the week.
I'm leaving a Snickers in a jar of whiskey for a month, or until something interesting happens. I'm leaving a hot dog and 90% concentrated vodka for a week, or until something interesting happens. I'm leaving Jolly Ranchers and 90% concentrated vodka for a week, or until something interesting happens. Look at that! Bone apple teeth. Just tasting your typical Jolly Rancher, but a little hard, if you know what I mean. Bone apple beef. Oh God, it's so bad. This wiener has 0 flavor? Jam this wiener in there for flavor. Shot. Diboja. Oh, might have tasted a lot better if I used 1 flavor of Jolly Rancher. Okay. It just doesn't feel right, you know? Oh, whoa, what's going on in my mouth right now? This actually tasted good. That is some good wiener juice.
That is some good wiener juice. Yes. 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 Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't have his name offhand there. Go follow him, though. That dude is fucking hilarious. Now, he doesn't just do that. Like, he's got these expensive Pokemon cards and Magic cards, and he'll put them in, like, a jar of hydrochloric acid for a week to see what happens. Yeah, that are worth, like, a lot of money. It's so weird. But I love those videos. I cut those all together just for you folks. So yes, that's a video that's not edited that way. So if you're looking for someone to do your videos, Luke, we got some comments. Luke says, Jesus, that TikToker is my alter ego, except I don't urge. It's foreplay for a professional drinker. Kat says, my 3-year-old dying over here with this guy. That guy's amazing. Oh, wow, right? That was so wrong. And he kind of looks like your buddy, I think James with long hair. Takeo? I don't see it at all, but okay. So what do you think? What did you think of this TikToker? Me watching this looked like the one that you actually enjoyed the most, but I could be just...
Yeah, he was pretty funny for sure. Yeah.
Are we going to try some wiener? I'm vegan. But wiener juice.
All right, I'll do it.
I know. You're going to have to drink the wiener juice, and that's what you do anyway. So,
it was like 6 times in college, all right?
$20 is $20. Just saying. $20 is $20. And I'm sorry for the 3-year-old that's watching, or 7-year-old, 3-year-old. Vegan, I'm disconnecting. Peace. And no, you're not. Sweet chili infused. Yes, the sweet chili Doritos are vegan indeed. He was young and he needed the money. It was last week, Will. It was last week.
It's true.
He did need the money, though. All right, what do you say, buddy? Why don't we get to some news with another edition of This Week in Geek. Well, what is happening here? I love you, Ryan, even if you're misdirected on me. Easy.
That was my impression of Starfish from Suicide Squad.
Star O, the Conqueror. He looks like a starfish, but he's a giant alien. The 3-year-old has me as her mother. Don't worry, she's fine. Fair point.
And I was.
I'm telling Amber. All right, buddy. You started us off as you do every week with some sad news.
Yeah, you'd have to be a little older to probably remember these guys. They had 25 top 10 hits, over 70 million albums sold. They actually just recently played the Hollywood Bowl on July 4th. Dennis D.D. Thomas died at the age of 70, co-founder of Kool and the Gang.
Yeah, man. As I jump ahead there, one of the all-time great sax players out there as well. Played not just with Kool and the Gang, played with a lot of bands. One of those journeyman musicians, but like you said, founding member of Cool in the Gang, and yeah, man, long life, and I'm sure playing with Cool in the Gang, he had a pretty good life.
Yeah, no
You
doubt.
know?
The 70s were some crazy times.
No shit.
Moving along, American voice actress Thea White has died at the age of 81. Best known for her portrayal as Courage the Cowardly Dog, as you're seeing here.
Well, she wasn't Courage though.
No,
she played Muriel.
He was yes, exactly.
Yeah, on that show.
Also in the most recent Scooby-Doo animated film and the Mr. Bean cartoon.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Right on. That playing with Mr. Bean. I didn't even know he had a cartoon. Actually, I did know that. I have seen it. Steve, I missed last week, but what did you think about the death of Joey and Billy?
Dusty Hill died last week, I think, and Joey Jordison, of course, from Slipknot fame. I was never a huge Slipknot fan. I did see them at Ozfest in 2000. Great drummer. I did see him perform with Ministry though in New York City. So yeah, definitely a great loss for the metal community. Very young, 40-something.
That's kind of the rock and roll lifestyle, though. Live fast, live hard, die young, usually, like for a lot of the greats. Now, I want to go from death to death, I guess. And this death would be of the American women's soccer team dominating the Canadians in Olympics or any other field. And I'm sorry, not sorry, but our women won the gold. Not only did we beat the U.S. in the gold medal qualifying game, we went on to beat, was it Switzerland or Sweden? We beat Sweden,
Yeah.
sorry. In the final, we beat them in penalty kicks. What a great game. I'm telling you, I don't know what it is, but for me in certain sports, I only prefer to watch the women. And soccer's one of them because I find that there's more scoring in female soccer. When women go down, like from a hit, they actually got hit. They're not diving. Same thing with oh my god, I just had it in my head, but I lost it. Women's Olympic hockey is also really cool to watch as well. A fun one. And tennis. I love tennis and I like watching men's tennis, but women's tennis, when they're at the height and they've got some of the best in the world playing, it's amazing to watch. I love watching tennis, period, though. Just to watch two people go at it for like five hours straight. And it's just those two. No coaches on the court, no, really not anything else but you and your opponent. It's like gladiators going at it. Sorry, I went off just a little bit there. Who's having a slash? I can hear someone having a wee. That could have been Steve pouring a drink. Woohoo, Canada, yes. What game did Canada win? The gold medal game in the Olympics for soccer, for footy. You should know that. Was it moose wrestling? Do you know how tough those moose are? So to be able to wrestle them, I'm just saying that shows how tough we are.
That happens every night in bars on King Street.
Yes. King Street Bar, it's always women wrestling. And that wasn't the only gold we took in something a lot of people weren't really expecting. Well, maybe a lot of people were expecting. But the 200-meter, Andre DeGrasse took it home for Canada. Just an amazing runner. And it felt like he let off a little bit at the end there. But he seems to do that in every single race. And you see that even Usain Bolt, we would see him in his races, and he'd get to the last length, and you'd see that he'd have the lead, and he'd hold up a bit. And you know that world record could have been even greater. So, but yeah.
Yeah, he also took bronze in the 100, gold in the 200.
Yeah, man. Gold in the 200-meter. That's it. Bronze. And did we win bronze in the 400 relay? I think it was.
Yeah, the relay as well, yes. Yeah.
So Canada did well. So we never do well in the Summer Olympics.
No.
Like it's usually if we do with the 100-meter dash, and it's usually once every generation. We have Ben Johnson, and then in steroids, then Donovan Bailey, and then and now it's Andre DeGrasse. So
Yeah.
Canada, way to go, eh? All right, what do you got, buddy?
From death to birth, Zeus the goat, hailing from the U.S. of A. Our friend Nathan Cochran, longtime fan of the show, named his goat after Zeus. About a year ago?
Yeah, about a year ago, he named the goat, as you see on the far left there, the black one.
Black one,
Racist.
yeah.
Racist. No, I'm just kidding. Happenstance. But yeah, the black one he named Zeus after me, which was super cool.
And then on the other photo you see there now, little baby Wingnut.
Now, how do you feel about having a goat named after you?
I stick by my comments. I mean, who needs an Oscar or red carpets when you have a goat named after you? Like,
For real though, like it's pretty dope that we've had such cool fans over the years, and now we've had cartoon artwork made out of us and things like that, but never this. So thanks, Nate. I don't know about your goat. I just know my goat is a siring one, so I don't have to worry about it ever being eaten. I'm just putting that out there. I mean, I think it's important that people know that.
Amber's licking her chops over there, little farm girl.
Stop it. Stop it. Exactly, Kat. That's a huge honor. And stop it. Amber, you're not eating our goats. And you eat Steve's goat. You're not eating my goat. Not the way I was. Amber, Jesus, Murphy. Can't bring her anywhere. I can beat that. I'm changing my kid's name from Zachary and Alistair to Zeus and Steve. They're not happy, but they ain't old enough to legally argue.
Yeah, you got to do it before they're legally
it.
you contest it. Yeah, for sure.
We do, but Alistair's name has to go to Welland Wingnut, not Steve.
Well, my birth name was actually last name was McAllister.
Oh, well, there you go. So it's almost like it was meant to be.
Right?
Stop it, Ron.
Lamb chop.
Dick.
Yum. Gyros. Good Greek food. Mm-hmm.
It's not even how you say it. Gyros.
They're fucking good.
And kudos to the people that go around and put the names of the animals with stickers on the packages of meat, because I really love knowing the name of the animal I'm eating.
Why not?
I you too.
I raised my cow before we ate it.
I don't know what to do with this guy. I'm telling you. Oh, we lost Steve's feed. Whatever happened? Oh no, we lost him just after he was making fun of the vegan. Oh no. Oh, look at that. We found the feedback, but he died.
Yeah, of a heart attack.
All the beef.
From eating all that meat. You know what? Let's just move on. You're a monster, and not a monster or an Addams. But speaking of Addams, there's the new Wednesday Addams Netflix show coming out.
Sorry.
Amber, you had one job. One job. Just stay out of the shot.
That we call that an amber. Here
is an amber. That's like saying a mulligan.
Right.
You get an amber. Yeah, dick. Anyways, the Wednesday Addams. You heard there's a Wednesday Addams show coming out? Live action on Netflix. They found their Gomez Addams. I really kind of wanted to see Michael Pena take the role. I thought he would have been awesome from the Ant-Man movies.
Yeah.
But I am so down with who they chose. And they got Luis Guzman to come in and play Gomez Addams. He's a great actor. I mean,
oh, for sure.
He's the goat. If you've ever seen Waiting, you know what I'm talking about. Goat! You never want to see the goat. I'm just saying. That is. You editing Ryan the cow. Cheers. You're eating Ryan the cow. Cheers, Ryan the cow. No one cares. Tasty. Wait, what? My cow's not named Ryan. It's a goat. They don't get eaten. Kiss of death. That's random. And then we got it. Anyway, so that's it. That's my story. What do you think, though? I'm all right with another Addams Family coming out. I don't know if I'll watch it. I'll probably give it a shot and then see what I think.
Yeah, I haven't seen the last few incarnations, so I'm definitely ready for one.
Really, yeah. Now I know they just had a cartoon come out that had Oscar Isaac voice it, but I didn't see that one, so I couldn't even tell you if it's good or not. Have you seen any of those, or
No, I haven't.
just the Raul Julia stuff, right?
Right.
Nice. Well, hey, man. If it ain't broke, why fix it? But I mean, this ain't bad, so why not just break stuff?
Yeah, things definitely got broke. People's minds got broke this week after Limp Bizkit set at Lollapalooza in Chicago this past weekend. Fred Durst debuted his new look, as he looks like one of the Beastie Boys from the Sabotage video here.
So awesome.
He did say a few days later that it was a wig, and it was obviously to promote their new song, which they played just via audio as they all jumped off the stage and tossed T-shirts into the audience. The new song, new single from Limp Bizkit, Dad Vibes. You can hear that now on all your major streaming services.
So here's my question. We saw the photo there. It was up for a while. I'll put it up again for you folks. Before I put it up, is this real? Or is he wearing a wig? Is this a costume? Because this looks like, obviously it looks like the Sabotage video a bit, but it also looks a lot like, Undercover Boss. Like, you're not fooling me, Johnny. I know it's you. I work with you 5 days a week. That's what that looks like to me. That looks like a wig, a really bad wig.
No, he said a couple days later that it was a wig.
Okay, I hadn't followed up, so I wasn't sure. Thank you for clarifying. I mean, Fred Durst. You and I mentioned this earlier. We were talking about it, and you had said you never understood the hate for Durst, and neither did I.
Yeah, I mean, from what I know, he's never been Me Too'd. He's never really said anything too controversial. I mean, he's never pretended to be anybody he's not. I mean, Limp Bizkit is, I guess you could say a little obnoxious, some of their songs, as you mentioned, break stuff. And that definitely, fuck you kind of generation band. My Generation, the song, another good, And they were blamed heavily for Woodstock 99 and the events that took place thereafter. And that's going to be part of an HBO documentary that we did mention the story a few weeks back. So,
yeah. Now, here's my thing, though. They were starting to get that fan outcry against them, or at least thinking, oh, it's just Fred Durst. Because Fred Durst went from being fucking cool to being kind of, everyone made fun of Fred Durst.
Yeah.
Which never made sense to me. And I don't know where that started. Because even in the Eminem song, people kind of thought he was making fun of him. But yet he shows up in the video with Eminem sitting in a row where they're making fun of Britney and fucking Christina Aguilera.
Exactly.
So I just never got it either. I really do like Fred Durst. And
this they were at the top. Like for a few years, they were at the top. Like I saw them in Skydome with like 80,000 people, and then probably about 3 or 4 years ago, I saw them play a bar in Buffalo.
Right, like how the mighty have fallen at that point.
I mean, it was cool for me as a fan, having seen them, a couple times in huge stadium shows to get them to see very small, intimate show. But
have you ever gone to see well, you were never a fan, but it's like the Tragically Hip back in the day. You go try to see them in Canada anywhere, and you're fighting for a fucking ticket. You go see it, and they're selling out the biggest stadiums and places in Canada. You go in the States and they're playing some fucking bar in Buffalo, just across the border, and it's fucking barely sold out.
Right.
Like you could touch Gord Downie is sweating on your fucking head. So weird. So weird. People treat them as if they're Our Lady Peace. I'm kidding. I like OLP. Doesn't mean I wasn't right. Doesn't mean I wasn't right. Really, I like that first album. OLP's first album was pretty dope.
So take the vocals out.
Be nice
The music's not bad. The
Be
vocals.
nice to Rain. Be nice to Rain. He looked like a mini Tom Cruise. People from around the world that are watching this right now, like Will and Luke, and even Will Gillis, when he chimes in later, he's like, "Who the fuck are these people talking about?" When it comes to the Tragically Hip, though, for you folks in England that are watching, just listen. When people think of Canada's greatest bands, people always think of the Guess Who, Rush, of course, which Rush should be there. No matter what we as Canadians think, Rush should always be number one as our biggest export music band. But for Canadian impact in Canada, whether you personally like them or not, there was no bigger act in Canada. I don't care who. Pink Floyd came here and they did 3 shows and sold out that much because they're that fucking popular. Tragically Hip does that all the fucking time, no matter where they go. They're so big. There was a fucking cross Canada fucking tour that went on for years called Another Roadside Attraction. And they play like
that was the one and only time I saw them in Markham, Ontario.
Yeah. They played Barrie every year for Canada Day. Like they were Canada's band, so much so that they endorsed the now Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, before Gord Downie died. Sorry, we got a lot of comments here. I hear a lot of undercover boss comments. Yeah. Hello, the 90s called Fred. They want their rose-tinted glasses back. You be nice to him. You be nice to Fred. We love Fred. They're so good live. I think she's talking about Our Lady Peace because we were talking about them back then. She could be talking about Hip though. It's just one of those days when you don't want to wake up, everything is fucked, then you're in a bar in Canada. I mean, those are good days. Welcome to Welland, yo. Kim Mitchell. I mean, Kim Mitchell's big, but Kim Mitchell isn't Tragically Hip or Rush big. He's nowhere near either one of them. You know who's near them? Gordon fucking Lightfoot.
You asked this in the question. You asked this question in the 80s, and he's higher up on the list for sure.
Yeah, maybe Max Webster,
right?
But not Kim Mitchell.
He had some hits. I'm not a fan, but
here in Canada, though.
Oh, right.
And nowhere near what he never had that fan base like fucking the Hip did here in fucking Canada.
No, I mean he played Welland, so
that's like trying to say David Wilcox. And I love David Wilcox. You love David Wilcox.
Huge fan.
But we've seen David Wilcox a million times, and out of those million times, 750 fucking thousand of them were free.
Yeah.
That's not taking away from the man, but when you think about it in comparison to Rush, Tragically Hip, the Guess Who, Gordon Lightfoot, fucking Stompin' Tom Conquerin' back in the day, fucking the band, dude.
Yeah.
Sorry, we went off on a Canadian proud tour right there. Rush is the greatest Canadian band. Well, the greatest band, she says. So I don't know if she means that. Oh, you know what? Luke, you're fucking right.
Luke, cheers.
Mine, I'm drinking out of my new drink cup. It has a straw. I'm sorry. Quicker efficiency. Luke's right here, though, I think. As much as you and I love other Canadian performers, it's got to be Celine Dion or Shania Twain. And I would argue it's fucking Celine.
And that's coming from someone across the pond.
Wow. Yeah. And that's the important part of it. Because we're trying not to look at it as what's big here in Canada. Yeah. I'm trying to think of anybody else, like not even Avril Lavigne or, is that really her anymore? I'm just kidding.
Did that?
Just kidding.
Yeah, we mentioned that on the conspiracy show. I think it was mentioned.
Why though?
I
Why
know.
is it Paul McCartney and Avril Lavigne are the two fucking musicians that have been replaced? I somewhat get it with Paul McCartney, and I'm not saying that it's that I agree with that conspiracy theory at all. I get trying to, if he had died, trying to replace him with a lookalike. But we're
So
talking about Avril fucking Lavigne. Not talking about her talent, but come on. There's no one like, oh, we need to fucking replace her because she's the next Paul McCartney or Beatles.
now, if I heard tomorrow that Paul McCartney had started taking selfies with fans everywhere he went, then I would say yes, he's definitely been replaced.
Right, right.
But he absolutely refuses to do that. He says he'll stop and talk to you and shoot the
Yeah.
shit. He does not do pictures.
Oh shit, we just got another good one from Luke.
Brian Adams, yeah.
I mean,
He did sleep with Princess Di, so
in 1990s, but since then, does anybody know who Brian Adams is? If you're not Gen X or Canadian, and even Canadians, I don't think there's anyone. I don't know how many millennials. Sure, some millennials, but I don't know any Gen Z or younger that would know Brian Adams. Gordon Lightfoot was terrible live. Oh, now Steve's going to want to fight you. Steve is, look at the eyes in this man. He is ready to, he's going to throw down like it's Motown. That's not a saying, but it fucking should be.
I saw him at Massey Hall last. He was great. A longtime fan. So
Wait, is that fucking true?
Kim lives in
Kim
the Falls.
Mitchell lives in the Falls?
Mhm.
He's that close to us?
Possibly.
Kim, come on the show. Might as well go for a soda, nobody hurts. We'll bring Jack Daniels and wine. Cheers. The straw's stupid. You can't tilt it. Just saying, but yes, he's from Canada. I don't know how we got on this Canadian trip, but I'm liking the trip we're on. 16 weeks in the UK.
So, to summarize, last week we were sucking Carl Orban's dick. This week we're
Right.
talking about Canadian bands.
This is crazy. But you all stay around for it, so we love you for that. 16 weeks in the UK, number one, Brian Adams' worst song, if you ask me, the Robin Hood song. I would do it. Oh, no, that's not it. What was it? Look into my eyes, you will see
No,
what
right.
you mean to me. I remember we used to have to sing that in class, or we had to play it on the recorder or something. But yeah, thanks for getting that's legit stuck in my head now. I hope it's in your head too, and people at home. I meant Canadian, but their talent makes them one of the greatest anyway. I forget who we're talking about, who she had said, but yes, I agree. Gordon
Oh,
Lightfoot.
probably Lightfoot, I think.
Yeah. Very true, Luke. Seen him in the Falls, New Year's Eve, Brian Adams. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all have. I think we've all seen. That's the thing with Canadian bands. Whether you like them or not, you've probably seen them. The only one I haven't seen is the band.
5440 played my fucking 45th birthday.
Shut up. Shut up. They're not even Canadian, are they?
Yes, they are. They're from Vancouver.
Red Wine?
5440?
Oh,
Not
I'm
you.
thinking UB40. UB40. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I've
UB40
seen
played Brock
5440.
University. Though.
I've seen 5440. They were good. I liked them a lot, actually, growing up.
I remember
Summer of
UB40
16.
played Brock.
What's that?
UB40 played Brock University.
Well, I could see that. I just mean, I couldn't see them being Canadian. I thought they were British.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think they are British. We'll blame Luke for that. Summer of 69, his best song so far. Well, he's really old, so if that's his best song so far, I'm just going to say that's his best song ever.
Right.
I mean, at a certain point. And is that, like, I don't know about you, but I do think about this. Do you ever worry about achieving something so great that you're like, now what? Like, I will never do anything that's going to top this. Like, whatever your true dream is in life, if you're to achieve it and you do it, it's great while it's happening. It's great for the lead up. But after you're done it, are you just chasing the fucking dragon the rest of your life?
Yeah.
That shit keeps me awake. Shouldn't, but yeah, there you go. And yes, last I heard, lives in the Falls. Kim. Yeah.
DM his address to us. We know you have it.
We do know you have it. Why don't we move on to the next story, because we've been on that. That was Durst. We were still on the Fred Durst story.
Damn you, Durst. Now I know why people hate him.
This is why people hate you. This is why people hate you, Fred Durst. 36 minutes. We go on a tangent because of Fred Durst.
I think that beat.
Want to break stuff.
I'm pretty sure that beat our previous rant on Corey Feldman.
Let me tell you about Corey fucking Feldman. No, I'm kidding. Corey, come on the show. No, you can come on the show. You got to pay us. That's it. I will bury the grudge if you do the one thing you demanded of us before you found out that we could get you a little bit of clout for your music. Pay us. I don't care if it's a quarter. I don't care if it's a fucking dollar. I don't care if it's a Canadian dollar.
Canadian loony.
One loony. You can come back on the show and we will bury the hatchet and we will forget everything. I'll let it go. But until that day, sorry, Corey, you are number one on the list. Now, there are some people that are on the list, but they're not on the list because we don't like them. It's because we're scared shitless of them. Andrew Murphy, dude, we're not. Anytime, sir, you'd like to come on the show, you are more than welcome. But our lawyers say that it would not be in our best interest for you to be on the show. Thank you so much. Please do not hurt Steve.
I was not the one recording you in our private conversation.
I need to get that from you because now that I've gone to school, I know a little bit about Adobe Audition, and I can maybe clean that up and get some of that interview. I think we do it. I think we just go ahead and play that fucking, because we got some dirt on that motherfucker. We got some dirt on Gene Simmons. We got some dirt on a lot of people that do Coca-Cola in Hollywood. It was good times. Sweet chili and Jack. I would love some sweet chili chips right now. I got a jet later, dudes. Been a slice. Thanks for joining, Kat. Always fun. All I can say about Fred Durst is awesome, but Blumhouse rules. That's true. That is, I mean, we've been waiting. Bret Hart to give you a chop, Ryan. That is not the dream. The dream, by Kat. The dream would be to be put in a sharpshooter by Bret Hart. I don't want to get chopped by him. I want his signature move. Anyways, let us move on from us talking about Fred Durst to us talking a little bit of a sad story, but with a happy spin. We are not done with Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther. As we knew, the Disney Plus series What If is coming out, and we were told that Chadwick Boseman will be playing T'Challa in one of the episodes, and we found out that he's going to be one of the Guardians of the Galaxy. He's basically going to be the new Star-Lord. Well, we've come to find out that's not going to be it. Chadwick will voice T'Challa in 4 episodes of What If, and he's going to play a different version of himself in each one of them, which is great. It's like the Loki thing all over again with all the different variants. I love it. Loki's opened everything up, and for those of us that feel like we didn't get to say goodbye, to that character, I think this will help with that. And I wonder, and I've been trying to find it online. I can't find it anywhere. But I wonder if he did this on purpose, though. And this, because he knew he wasn't, he knew he had that for a long time. And I wonder if this was his way of being like, yeah, okay, I can't really be on screen, but I can go in the voice booth and record some shit. and kind of say my goodbyes. And if there's an episode where like legit he says goodbye and dies, and he says goodbye to the fans, but it's like one of those metaphysical things, like where he's saying goodbye to his whatever, his crew, but he's really saying goodbye to us. You know me. I'm balling. I'm balling like a fucking baby the entire time. Hard facts. Sorry.
You need to do a reaction video to that.
I need to do a blind reaction to that, but then that means I have to watch every episode he's in because I won't know which one that'll happen in. I almost did that with He-Man. He-Man, like, I legit watch it again. I don't know what everyone's complaining about, and it's cool if you want to complain about it for legit reasons, but that show is so fucking good. Like, they made our old He-Man have meaning. Like, they gave good stories because those stories weren't good when we were kids. They were just like, we want to sell toys, and here's some stories, and at the end, we'll give it a fucking educational fucking whatever. Every single Kevin Smith episode is like, oh my God, this is good writing with characters we know. Like, and it's written with the heart of those characters as well. So if you don't want to like it, that's cool. That's your thing. I just don't see why you don't. And to each their own. But stupid. I love your shows. Thank you, Lynn Davidson. Well, we love you too. Thank you for showing up and tune in anytime. I'm not done with Chad, but how? What? Facebook user, one of my favorites.
Nice.
Could that be Kurt? Is Kurt done his party? Because we went on so long because of, Fred. Oh, okay, pre-recorded. We are not pre-recorded. A fourth wall breaking goodbye would bring tears to everyone. Yes, Greg. Oh my God. Like, and you know what? If we're thinking about it, I'm sure Marvel thought about it too. Will, how you doing? Long time no see. I just saw that Travis Moore of the Whitest Kids You Know died at 41 in an accident. I don't know who that is. Oh, it's Will. It's Will on a different account. Different network. No, I didn't. I don't know who that is though, Will. I've never even heard of the Whitest Kids You Know. Hi, Will. Oh, Luke must see it on there. Amber. And sorry, I'm late. Just got in from work. No problem. You missed our top 5 for most ridiculous movies. We can give you a quick rundown if you like. Steve's number 5 movie was A Toxic Avenger. Hot Tub Time Machine he had after that. Oh, I'm sorry. He had Face Off first.
Right.
Then Toxic Avenger. Then Hot Tub Time Machine. Then the grossest movie ever made. Well, I'm sure it's not the grossest movie ever made, but the grossest movie ever to make that much money. Human Centipede. Then he had the Weekend at Bernie's. Then I had, for my list, I had Who Framed Roger Rabbit, number 5. I had The Raid, number 4. I had Monty Python's The Search for the Holy Grail as number 3. I had Spaceballs, number 2, and my number 1 ridiculous movie that shouldn't work but did, Hudson Hawk. So now you're all caught up. Now we can get back to news. Cheers to that. Jack Daniels, and a straw. As we get back to the mission at hand here. All right. I just ran them down for you, buddy. Yes. Cheers. Nice choices. Yes, run us down. All right, there we go. So back to the news. We just finished up with what story there? That was talking about Chadwick Boseman.
Yes.
And then after that, we go from one great comic book actor to another.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds set to star in Free Guy, and we now know because of Scarlett Johansson and a few others who have decided to sue Disney over these home premiere access first day releases. We know that Free Guy will not be one of them. Disney is rethinking the same day releases and may not be a thing in the future.
Well, it's funny you say that, and you have this story, because I almost put the story in about how Suicide Squad made so much money Friday night and lost. and didn't even come nowhere near to equaling it the next couple nights. Here's what I'm going to blame. HBO Max, if you're going to release same day and you want to make good money for that first weekend, release it everywhere that weekend. Because you lost a lot of money in Canada, the UK, everywhere you decided not the UK, because they released it a day early there in theaters, but all these other places where it didn't come out, people still aren't ready to go to the cinema. And some people don't want to watch superhero movies at the drive-in because it's too hard to see them at the drive-in if it's dark. That's some magic there. You're the only one there. Hey, sorry about that. But yeah, that's my whole. I just don't get it. Magic. Stop it. But yeah, maybe this is a good move. I think this is a good move for them though with Free Guy.
Yeah. Definitely bring a lot more money to the box office. And I mean, unless it's going to be a thing where the Disney's going to work that in as part of the contract for these actors, then it's going to continue to be an issue, I think.
Yep. And people are going to continue to pirate them if they keep releasing it same day. Like you're going to get those that refuse to go to the theater, whether COVID or not. But with COVID right now, you do that. I mean, people in Canada paid for Mulan and they paid for Black Widow that first week. People that were going to pirate it anyway, pirated it anyways, no matter what. But there were some of us that actually paid to watch Black Widow. And there's some of us that didn't pay to watch Suicide Squad. Why is everybody looking at me? I don't get it. Just stop. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's an impossible mission to try to make money if you're just going to release it straight to the theaters, and not do it on if you're going to do it on HBO Max, do like they did with Wonder Woman 84. I paid for Wonder Woman 84 on Crave because HBO Max in Canada is Crave basically, so I would have done the same. I'm saying I did, not that I didn't pay to watch a Suicide Squad movie, but I could see why people wouldn't. They said it's a Mission Impossible. Speaking of Mission Impossible, Tom Cruise and crew just wrapped up filming of Mission Impossible 7. We haven't really heard much about this movie since Tom Cruise had that big blow up on set for the few people not wearing masks on set, which people freaked out on him about. But I'm like, you kind of should be happy about him because he wasn't worried about him. Tom Cruise is going to be a mega millionaire no matter what. But he was free. He even said in his thing, he's like, when he was freaking out, he's like, I'm not worried about me. I'm worried about this guy holding the camera over here or this guy doing the lights, where this money is everything to them. I don't make this movie. I'm cool waiting another fucking year to fucking film this. It's not going to hurt me financially. I'm Tom fucking Cruise. But I never got that. But I'm not going to lie. I was not a huge fan of these movies when they started. But the last 3 or 4, I really dig.
Yeah, that's fair. I've just recently started watching the Daniel Craig Bond movies. Like the first one, second one, and that's as far as I've gotten there yet. I still haven't seen any of the Mission Impossible. As anybody who knows me or watches the shows knows, I'm not the biggest Tom Cruise fan. Love Rain Man, love him in Tropic Thunder. Right? Yeah. But never seen Top Gun. I know that shocks people. Especially when it's.
I'm not a Top Gun fan, so you're not.
It's always the Disney movies that shock people, though. I've never seen Aladdin. I've never seen Lion King. I've never seen Toy Story. I've never seen
We've lost Steve again. I don't know what happened. Steve's feed just keeps going out. It seems every time he says something outlandish, there he is. I'm sorry.
It's one of those things where my kids watch them, but I put them on, and we took what we called sanity runs.
Oh, you went to go smoke a joint.
Right.
Right. That was before the kids were old enough to know better. We got a lot here going on. Ron says it's on Android. We said that. Crazy that The Rock is starring in Big Trouble in Little China.
I just saw that today. Yeah.
Well, I think we reported on this a while ago, but it was just a rumor at that point.
Yeah. No,
I love.
They're having some legal issue right now, but he says he's really trying hard to get this movie made.
I love Big Trouble in Little China.
Me too.
I really do. I don't know, man. But you know what? Make it. Go ahead and make it because it could be good. And if it's not, if I don't like it, I'm sure there'll be people that do like it and cool for them. And then that legacy lives on somehow. So I'm trying to become the better guy at this point in my life. It's not working, but we'll see. Luke says, I just had a call. They said they had an important message for everyone. Firstly, Blumhouse is awesome. Secondly, Clancy, stop it. Will says he saw it on HBO Max. But you're in the States, Will, so that you have that option. Steve and I don't have that here in Canada.
No.
Greg says, I went and saw Black Widow in the theaters last week. Went to the 10 p.m. show in the Falls. There were only about a dozen people in the cinema. I enjoyed it. Wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst either. I just want the whole theater experience for my superhero flicks. I did the popcorn. I did the movie and enjoyed the movie. And yeah, I liked Black Widow as well quite a bit. As a comic book fan, I don't like what they did to Taskmaster necessarily, but Amber, you have to wait a little longer for lovey time, okay? We know you have Jack Daniels, but come on. Surely they are not remaking Big Trouble in Little China. Yes, they are. No kids if that happens. What? I don't know. Never watched a single Mission Impossible film. My kids enjoy it, but just can't do it. Can't stand Tom Cruise. I like Tom Cruise as an actor.
Yeah.
I'm not a Tom Cruise fan so much as a person because he's like the Oprah thing was weird. He's a Scientologist. I don't know about that too much. What I do know, it's not cool. Amber, stop it. He's smiling far too much. Get your hands off him. Go in the other room. But yeah. I like Tom Cruise. I think he's a great actor. Last Samurai is still one of my all-time favorite films. But like you, there's a lot of his movies I don't like. Like Days of Thunder, Top Gun.
I've seen parts of Days of Thunder. Yeah, I couldn't get through it. I'm also not a big racing fan, so
Same. Kokomo. No, I'm good, right? But The Outsiders. First time we saw him, loved him in that movie. Well, I love the movie, you know.
Yeah, my daughter's a huge fan of The Outsiders.
Yeah. So almost everything I see him in since then, he's always really good in. Fucking Tropic Thunder. That's where I changed my mind and stopped hating him because everybody there was a point where everyone just hated Tom Cruise. Where like, oh, enough Tom Cruise, and I fell into that trap. And Tropic Thunder came out, and I was like, holy fuck, like and then I looked at all his movies, and I'm like, you know what? For the movies I've watched, I like almost I love Anne Rice novels. Like I love the fucking Vampire Chronicles and shit. But when he was playing Lestat, and I was like, his size looks nothing like what I imagine Lestat to be. I fucking loved Interview with a Vampire. I mean, he's good in everything he does, and the type of movies I like that he's in, he does well, man.
Yeah.
I'm currently rewatching Mission Impossible TV series. They're really fun, and Martin Landau was awesome in the first season. It wasn't Peter Graves leading the team; it was Stephen Hill, the old DA from the original Law and Order. Oh, yeah, all right. Haven't seen any of those movies though. Tom Cruise in Legend. Yeah, right? With Tim Curry.
I don't remember Legend. I know I saw it, but it's been so long.
Tim Curry's the fucking devil in that one.
Yeah.
Or a variation of the devil.
Right.
I think Tom Cruise was in Legend. Yeah, he was, man. It's ironic. I'm not a fan of Cruise, but he picks good projects, and I've seen all the MI films. Oblivion, Edge of Tomorrow is fucking great. Him and Emily Blunt, that movie where he keeps dying over and over again. It's like Groundhog Day. Oh, dude. I'm telling you, I think you'd like that one. I really do. Tom Cruise sucked in Jack Ryan, though. Tom Cruise sucked in Jack Ryan Part 2. The Rock would have fit the role better. I agree with that because if you read the Jack Ryan series, Jack Ryan's a big fucking dude. Tom Cruise is not. The first Jack Ryan movie, though, I like that movie. I thought he was good. Jack Reacher. Yeah, you're right. Jack Ryan's the fucking Tom Clancy novels. But Jack Reacher, I knew what you meant. All right, and sorry about that. I didn't mean to get off topic there. Like Hickory Dickory Dock. I said Hickory Dickory Dock. I said some nursery rhymes.
Yeah, I think we did a story on him a couple weeks ago. I don't remember what it was, but Andrew Dice Clay has reported that he has Bell's palsy. He made a point to say that it is not COVID vaccine related.
I don't mean to laugh. He will continue his current tour that he has planned. So good for him. We wish him all the best. As you and I both said, his comedy was funny when we were teenagers and then became less funny. And I got to see him at a comedy festival just like 5-6 years ago in Toronto, and he was getting booed. Like it was just not funny. Awkward, yeah. I mean, and think about the age we were at then too, though. We were like, what, 8 to 15?
Right.
And 15 was pushing it. And because there were dick and fart jokes, basically. Hickory Dickory Dock. This bitch was sucking my cock. Like,
no boy blue. He needed the money. Oh,
okay, that one is still funny. That one's still funny. That's no different than Kevin Smith and $20 is $20.
Yeah.
Right. So, but yeah, no, that's. I was shocked when he said the Bell's palsy thing. I didn't know that, and yeah, sorry to hear that. Here's one thing I will say about Andrew Dice Clay. As we got older, we grew out of him. I haven't watched it since probably the early 2000s. I fucking really dug that movie, though. Like, it was the epitome of 80s and 90s fucking action comedy.
You didn't think we'd actually kill the fucking koala bear now, did you?
Right? And we're like, yes, we fucking did. We were those little psychopath kids. We're a little disappointed you didn't. Steve, not me. I'm a vegan. Not then, but I wouldn't have eaten that either. Bell's palsy. Betty's laughing. Oh, stop it, Luke. That's not cool. Steve, you're going to hell. You're going to hell. Greg says So when I eventually post the audio to this and you guys just listen to this, that was Steve laughing at that horrible, horrible joke that Luke just made, and trying his best not to laugh at it. I enjoyed some of Tom Cruise's movies: Edge of Tomorrow, Tropic Thunder, Jack Reacher, Few Good Men. Yes, dude, a Few Good Men. Rain Man was fucking great. I don't know if that was between him and Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah,
the two of them were great. Color of Money, another good one. Did Paul Newman show up in that movie?
I can't remember.
Was it just him and Jackie Gleason?
That one too, yeah.
Top Gun was okay. I was never a big fan of Top Gun.
No.
But boy, they really overplayed the danger zone. Dude, you know what? Anyone who played beach volleyball would tell you you're not playing in jeans. You're not.
Yeah.
Even if you're in tighty whities, you're just going down to those. Screen them first. Ron, I love you. You need to give us context every single time you comment. Andrew Dice Clay was great in Vinyl series.
Yeah, I liked Vinyl too. Yeah, too bad it's I think 1 or 2 seasons he got axed early. Yeah.
Paul Newman was in Color of Money. No Jackie Gleason. Thank you. It's hard though because I mix a lot of those up though because they're so similar. Speaking of pool movies, and I know we're way off topic, and Amber's all Jack Daniel'd up. Perfect. Have you ever seen the movie Pool Hall Junkies? Michael Rosenbaum, Ernie Ray Jr., Michael, what's his name? From not Goodfellas, from Tale of the Bronx, Chaz Palminteri and Usual Suspects. He's in this movie too. It's a great movie about pool hustlers, and it was at the height of, when we were hanging out at Rack and Roll and Hot Shots, all the fun places. Kenny Loggins, Overplayed, Highway to the Danger Zone. Yes. Jackie Gleason was in The Hustler with Paul Newman.
The original.
I knew that. But what was the sequel? I thought the sequel was The Color of Money.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Christopher Walken too, right? Yeah, possibly. Yes, Christopher Walken was in Pool Hall Junkies as well. Pool Hall Junkies is a really, really good movie. Really, really underrated. Anyways, back to the stories. You were talking about Andrew Dice Clay. I mean, no matter whether you like him or not, you can't, despite the big gaping hole that a lot of people refer to him as. That's the only way I could find a segue into this next story, and that is that scientists see the backside of a black hole, and this proved Einstein's general theory of relativity. Now, this has been something that, physicists and astrophysicists alike have been trying to solve since the death of Einstein, and it's people who think of Einstein, that's the one thing you think of is his general theory of relativity, E equals MC squared. Even if you don't know what that means, you know the formula.
Right. I'm honestly shocked that we've never had an astrophysicist see the backside of a black hole before. Like, how does this not happen?
Well, I mean, it all depends on the black hole you're with. Some of them like it from the backside. This is why Kat left with her 3-year-old. Like, I can't watch this show anymore. DocNet's still our sponsor. We haven't been canceled, but you know who was?
Yeah, comedian Louis C.K. Was really at the top of his game when he came crashing down with accusations of sexual harassing comedians on the phone, both on the phone and in person, for a period of years. Went on. He's set to make his big comeback with a few sold-out shows at Madison Square Garden. He'll be doing 48 shows in 30 cities.
So,
Hello?
yeah, sorry. Sorry about that. That was my very touchy keyboard. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
All right, let me get rid of that thing there. No, unfortunately, I have a MacBook that I'm running this from. Not unfortunately for the MacBook, but they have a touchpad, and my fingers touched it and moved me back out of the thing. So, yeah, I mean, what do you know about the Louis C.K. thing? Like, what were the actual allegations?
Well, the stories that I heard, the more famous comedians that had come out and spoke out against them, there were situations where he was on the phone with them and pleasuring himself, and without them knowing, and then realizing it. I guess a couple incidences in a hotel room where he was doing it, and I mean. Yeah. Dave Chappelle basically, said it. I mean, I know he's a friend and stuff, but Dave Chappelle commented and said, like these women could have left or hung up the phone. Like,
you're right. I mean,
it's still
wrong. I don't know how I feel about this, because what I've also heard too, and this is, listen, I hate talking about what I've heard and not what I know, or at least been able to corroborate. But from a lot of the stories, from what the rumors are and from what was reported to authorities, was that each time he asked if he could expose himself and do these things.
Yeah,
They said no. He was like, okay, no, I won't do that. I'm not saying that isn't creepy as fuck. But if you're going to be creepy as fuck, is that the most polite way to do it? Like, he's like, Amber, stop it. Just stop it.
No, that was actually me doing this. giving her the "I'm hungry" sign. So start making something. It'll be done soon.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, yeah, we're almost done. I don't know. It's a tough thing, really. Ron says, "Oh, he asked," and I'm not even saying that asking makes it okay for him to be creepy like that. I'm saying he's obviously got a sickness, that doesn't excuse anything, but he's obviously cognizant of it, and he's like, "Listen, this is my thing. I'm really sorry. Do you mind if I?" Again, not excusing it. It's just,
No.
I don't know. Is that the nicest way to do it?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm creepy, but I'm very nice about it. But he still asked. Yeah, exactly. He still asked. I don't know, man. I really don't know where I stand on it. It's no.
That's part of the "don't ask, don't tell" movement.
Right. Were you a fan of his beforehand, like his stand up?
I'm not a huge fan. I had seen a few of his bigger comedy specials, and funny guy. I mean, not someone I'd say that I follow. Like Jim Jeffries, where I listen to his podcast
Right.
now.
Same.
Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura. I listen to Two Bears, One Cave.
Right.
And Bill Burr does one with Bert Kreischer as well.
Nice.
These are guys that I really like right now. Louis C.K., funny guy, but not a huge fan.
Same. Yeah, I'm with you on every single one of those points. Something else that we've always agreed on, and that was since we were kids, and that was our love of Ghostbusters. And now it looks like we have Ivan Reitman's son directing and bringing us Ghostbusters Afterlife. We've seen all the trailers. We know that most of the regular cast is back. Annie Potts, the living cast. Yeah. And last week we showed you this, the new action figures of the legacy cast, all the kids that will be the next generation of Ghostbusters. Well, this week, folks, we've got some new ones for you. There you go. Oh my God.
Take my money.
I don't need it. I don't need these. I don't need more action figures. I don't. Where's my credit card? Yeah, look at these beauties. Winston, they've all grayed here. Dan Aykroyd looks a little off there. We had another picture, a close-up on Venkman. He looks great. But, yeah, man, I'm down. The collector in me says I need these. Just saying. I ain't afraid no ghost. I never really saw much of his stand-up, but what I did see was funny. I did like his Lucky Louie show. Yeah, me too. When I could catch it. Yeah. Nothing great, but yeah. Great show again, guys. Thanks, Ronnie. Watch Ratchet TV. They support awesome films, production like Blumhouse. I'm available to advertise Blumhouse wherever Blumhouse want me to Blumhouse. Want me to. Sorry. Take my money. Yeah, exactly. Well, take my money all the time for those toys. I don't care. Yeah, that's why we're mentioning it here on our podcast show. But yeah, we're not the only ones out there that has podcasts.
No, everybody jumping into the podcast game. I mentioned Two Bears, One Cave earlier, Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura. Metallica's coming out with their own podcast, and it's going to be called Three Guys and One Douchebag.
Is it really? Oh my God. Oh my God. It's like, the most self-aware title ever. Lars is the douchebag, by the way, folks.
Right.
Just letting everybody know it's Lars. It always has been Lars. Whether he was right about Napster or not, Lars has always been the douchebag crybaby.
No title, and they said that they're going to start with 8 episodes, and they're going to dive into the behind the scenes of the Black Album to start and see where it goes from there. So they're really starting at the core where everybody really wants to know where they went wrong.
They made another album after Black. Jason Newsted's like, listen, I don't think things are going the way they should be. They're like, no, you're a bass player. Shut the fuck up. Listen to Lars. Lars knows. In Lars we trust. And then Load came out and Reload and every other piece of musical greatness.
I did like a few tracks off both Saint Anger and Death Magnetic.
Yeah. Give me fuel, give me fire, give me something I desire.
They went back to the 7-minute songs, these longer, that was their roots.
Garage days.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, no, I know. Like, and yes, there's a bunch of people watching from around the world that are like, what's that black dude know about Metallica? I saw them in concert. I sang in a band in high school, and we sang at a Christmas concert at Eastville, and I sang Enter Sandman. So, but yeah, to me, Enter Sandman was where Metallica went wrong. Yeah. That song, not that album, because there's a lot of really fucking good Metallica songs on the Black Album. Enter Sandman is not one of them. That is their Kiss 98.5 song. Another reference to here. But
I've been to so many concerts. I always say, without keeping all of my concert stubs, I wouldn't remember half these shows I've been to, especially the ones in the early '90s. And I remember seeing Pantera play Cobb's Coliseum, and Phil stops and says, he goes, I'd like to, and this was around the Black Album. He says, I'd like to thank Metallica for stepping down as the kings of metal, so that Pantera could proper fucking seat at the throne.
I can't remember what album they had out when I saw them. It was on the tour that they co-headlined, but they didn't headline, with Guns N' Roses. Faith No More opened for both of them.
Okay.
I don't know if the Black Album was out then. It would have been close, though. I think it must have been, though.
Yeah, would have been close.
That was a good concert. That was 2 days. I don't know, 2 days, 2 shows for sure before the Montreal concert where fucking James Hetfield had his guitar explode on his hand, and then they called off the tour.
Yeah.
Good times, good time. Jordan's podcast is good too. You're damn right Jordan's podcast is good. What podcast is that? That is the Jordan James Show, Discovering the Path to Success. Comes out, new episodes every Tuesday. Check it out. Good, wholesome fun. Our buddy, our pro, our producer, our guy that made a bunch of our openings.
Yeah. As I do myself.
As Steve gets another one of his openings going. Metallica stopped drinking and drugging. That's where they went wrong. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't think that stops you from being that. Maybe it does. I don't know. It's hard to say. But they really weren't the same. And I think they were still drinking and stuff during the Black Album. It was Faith sucked. Faith No More, I only got to see like 3 of their songs because we got there late. They were, like their song, they were pretty fucking epic. Like, Michael Patton is a fucking madman. Like, dude asked everybody to throw their garbage up on stage, and he fucking sifts through garbage and takes an opened, half-eaten Snickers, whatever chocolate bar, and eats it on stage. They were punk, man. They were punk. They were mainstream punk, though. Faith No More was awesome. Woodpecker from Mars. Yeah, man. Meet Guns N' Roses, FNR. They met the Dalai Lama and cut off all their hair. Metallica, yeah. Epic is an awesome song. Yes. And they were in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, too. Come on now. Anyways, so we go from some epicness to our next story here, which I don't know how epic it was, but I actually enjoyed this. And people always give me shit thinking that I hate Hugh Jackman or don't like him as an actor because I don't think his Wolverine's a good Wolverine. Like a good representation of the comic Wolverine. I like him as an actor. I think he's a really good actor. I really like the movie Real Steel. Do you remember that one?
I do remember that.
It was like Rock'em Sock'em Robots, basically, in real life. It's been what, 10 years since that movie came out? Yeah, well, they're talking part 2 is on its way. Producers talked to Hugh Jackman. He seems to be on board with it. We don't know for sure. He hasn't given a yes, but it does look like he may be leaning that way, and I'm down for that. This was a good Rocky story about Rock'em Sock'em robots.
I'm down for this too, but I feel like they really missed the boat on that title. I think they really, the obvious was Real Steel 2, Realer Steeler.
Send all your hate mail to the wellandwingnut at gmail.com.ca. Real Steel, based on the Twilight Zone episode, was a lot of fun. He was really good in The Prestige too. Yeah, The Prestige is a great movie, especially anyone who likes magic movies, like movies about magicians. Yeah.
Just watched it recently.
Yeah. One of those. Oh, didn't see that coming. Who is Leto or Hugh? What? Leo or Hugh? Ronnie, so I said earlier, we love you. We love you commenting. Your comments need to come with more context. So you have to preface. You have to start each comment with what you're actually talking about, and not just give us the comment. Because sometimes you're a little behind us. Sometimes I think you're a little ahead of us. And sometimes I think you're just on your own thing. All of those paths are cool. We just need to know which path you're on so we can be there with you, buddy. Yes, love. All love. Real Steel was okay. Wanted to be Rocky, but defo needed a second movie. Yeah, and I'm cool with a second movie coming out. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. That's the name it should have been. Even better than Realer Steeler. Electric Boogaloo. I get it was already used, but damn, dude. Damn. Do it. I'm 100% in. There's no murder in that. What do you got next? You got the next one up. You got a crazy story for us.
Yeah, speaking of second movies, we got a second movie to The Shining. I guess you could consider the second movie the made-for-TV one starring the guy from Wings, but
Right.
we need to talk about that one because it was, even though I listen to Stephen King fans, I know that one was closer to the book, and Stephen King didn't like the Stanley Kubrick one, but I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Not sorry.
I know. It was just better. I'm sorry, Steve.
Dr. Sleep, I was reluctant to watch this because I'm like, I don't want this to ruin The Shining. I don't want this to ruin The Shining. So, and I did watch it, and I absolutely loved Dr. Sleep. So, the Shining TV show, Bad Robot, of course, Jar Jar Abrams behind Bad Robot, it was trying to bring the Overlook TV show to HBO. We now know that deal is dead, but he is still shopping the idea to another streaming service possibly. So,
well, we'll see. I'm sure it'll get picked up. Bad Robot's got. Whether you love Bad Robot, whether you love JJ or not, Jar Jar or not, I like JJ for the most part. It's gonna get picked up. He makes money. His movies, his property makes money. So. Someone's going to pick it up and they're going to throw all the money at him. And you know what? All the better to them. I've got 2 stories left here. I know that was your last there. But Jumanji 3 is set to be done. Or set to be in the works, I should say. Everyone back. Did you watch any of the Jumanji movies?
I haven't watched these yet. You know what? I actually... This is like confession booth.
Are you going to say you didn't watch the Robin Williams one?
I have never seen the Robin.
For real though, like all you at home, you all know he deserved that one though, right? Like for real, it's Robin motherfucking Williams in motherfucking Jumanji, and this motherfucker over here is going to come on our show, be the co-host on our show. The 2 of us both love Robin Williams, and he's going to be like, I've never seen Jumanji. With Robin Williams, I get if you want to say you've never seen Zathura. I get if you want to say you've never seen The Rock's version of Jumanji, but you've never seen Robin motherfucking Williams Jumanji. Oh my God. I mean, shame. Greg says this, like, I cut his mic. We cut him right from the show. He's gone. I'm looking for new co-hosts now. It's time to. Who is going to be the new Welland Wingnut? You get to sit right there in front of that great stand, but you have to have watched Jumanji. I'm just
Okay, I have another confession. I've seen Zathura like
Oh my God! You're going to tell me you've
I don't
seen
know how
Zathura,
many
but
times.
you haven't seen Jumanji.
Austin, get in here. Zathura
Here
was
we
like
go.
my kid's favorite movie growing up. I have seen Zathura so many times. Austin,
I'm coming, Grandma. I'm coming, Grandpa. I'm coming. It's today's the day. I thought it was the lights, but it's Steve. Tag me, and you know I've seen Jumanji. Oh my God, he's gone. Because I threw him out. I would love a Fortnite film, also a sequel to. Okay, low key, I really liked Warcraft.
I promise by next week I will watch the Robin Williams version of Jumanji, and we will talk about it.
Oh, Zathura Space Adventure?
Yeah.
It gets suspended in space?
See,
I
Oh
love
my
that.
fucking God! Oh my God!
my
But
kids.
sure, I watched the Kristen
that
fucking
movie.
Stewart one. You're killing me. Like, I mean,
That movie?
I legit have a tension headache right now.
The next thing you're gonna tell me is you fucking like Zathura. Like I've seen that movie so many times.
Zathura was John Favreau, which is pretty cool. Yeah, and this is not even but Favreau's been making great movies for a while, and I'm not even talking shit about Zathura because legit I've seen it a million times as well. But to say that you've watched Zathura and not Jumanji, and I'm not even saying Jumanji's great with Robin Williams, but Jumanji with Robin Williams. Just saying.
He's right.
Zathura, what's Jumanji? Luke, you're fucking fired too. 5-second review and address after to go visit Steve. Stop it. Just stop it. Now you're getting threatened by the fans.
I drive a white 1994 Toyota Corolla.
I don't even drive that. Oh, I thought you were trying to say mine, and when you said
Oh,
white.
no.
So, all right. So I've got one last story. Do you have another story you want to talk about at all? Did you have a backup story before I went in there, or no?
I had a few, but I didn't write them down. I don't remember
Well,
them.
that wasn't very bright of you. You heard about the shit going on between James Gunn and Scorsese?
Yes.
Did you actually hear what James Gunn said? Because I think some of it got taken out of context because people didn't hear it all.
Yeah, I remember. I vaguely remember reading it, and I don't remember exactly what the quote was.
Well, here, let me do this for you. I'm gonna play. This was from the podcast Happy, Sad, Confused that he was just on recently when asked what he thought about Scorsese. Sit back and take a listen. A couple minutes here.
I just think, it's awful. Just seems awful cynical that he would keep coming out against Marvel, and then that's the only thing that would get him pressed for his movie. Right. So then he just kept coming out against Marvel so that he could get pressed for his movie. So he's creating his movie in the shadow of the Marvel films, and so he uses that to get attention for something that he wasn't getting as much attention as he wanted for it. And he's one of the greatest filmmakers who's ever existed. I love his movies. I can watch his movies with no problem. And he said a lot of things I agree with. There is a lot of things that are true about what he said. There are a lot of heartless, soulless, spectacle films out there. And then also, he hasn't seen my movie. He doesn't know what my movie is.
Sure.
So, it was irritating.
I mean, I don't think he's hating on Scorsese at all there. I think he's making a lot of great points. And this is the great thing about art. And cinema is art, no matter what any of us think. And this is another way of me getting to, the movies that are made for kids and trying not to worry about shit I don't like. Is art is subjective. What I find art, you might not find art, and vice versa. That's the great thing about it. So
I agree. Martin Scorsese is a great director, but I'm sorry, The Irishman was boring as shit.
like the last, I shouldn't even just say the last couple. When we go back and look at it, there's a lot of Tarantino movies that are like that. Like almost the majority. When you look at, he's got what? He's heading on to his 9th or 10th film.
Something like that, yeah.
And out of the ones that he's directed, what, 2? 2 we like?
3.
Right? Django, Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, not Jackie Brown,
Nope.
not Hateful Eight,
Nope.
not fucking Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Nope.
I mean, it was okay, but it was fucking kind of meh. What else did he have out? You know what the movies that I do like of his, where it's not just him. I like fucking the one that he helped write and direct with Robert Rodriguez, the vampire movie with him and Clooney.
Kill Bill, I wasn't a huge fan of.
Yeah, that's one of those ones that doesn't even play well back. And the funny thing is, when I first watched them, I was a fan of Kill Bill 1 and not as much of Kill Bill 2. Now that I'm older, I prefer Kill Bill 2 over Kill Bill 1 because it's the one time where I've actually seen in my lifetime in any of his actual work, seen, oh my God, what is his name? Bill, the guy that plays Bill, David Carradine, where I've seen him act. That final scene with him, I know you laugh, but tell me I'm not right.
Yeah.
Where have you ever seen him act? Where have you ever, have you ever watched Kung Fu, The Legend Continues and been like, oh, I believe that's that character?
Yeah, I've seen it, yeah.
Yeah. But then you watch Kill Bill and you're like, oh my God, that's Bill. You watch him in anything else, you're like, oh, there's David Carradine. Right? So, but yeah, it's a weird thing. We got a lot of comments here and we got to get out of here. I do want to know what you do kind of think of all that, aside from, like, he gave him props. He's like, Scorsese, you're good. But was he right in saying that Scorsese was only saying that shit to get clout? Was Scorsese clout chasing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Luke, like, don't kiss the co-host ass. Kiss the host ass. No, I'm just kidding. Kiss out of their ass. We're really good with it, both of us. The good news is he got attention from Marvel movies. And yeah, and that's what James Gunn said. And I think he's actually fucking right. Agreed. Totally, The Irishman was shit. Inglourious Bastards. I'm sorry. Yes, I get it. I get a lot of people like Inglourious Bastards. And there's a lot of decent acting in that movie. And I love Brad Pitt. And I really like the director and writer that's in that movie that directs all the fucking Turistada and torture movies, that played the Jew Bear. What's his name? Director. I like him as an actor. He was really good in that fucking role. I'd like to see more of him, but that, like, Inglourious Bastards just didn't do it for me, honestly.
Yeah, this was one we saw at the drive-in, and we actually left about halfway through it. I did watch it again later on, and it wasn't horrible, but it wasn't great.
Yeah. Here's one that's one of my... This is arguably, and I shouldn't say arguably, this is one of my top favorite Tarantino movies of all time. If we're talking about movies that he wrote. True Romance for me is such a fucking great movie. And to me is the original Pulp Fiction. If you let Ridley Scott direct. Was it Ridley Scott?
I don't remember. I do love this movie, but I have one issue, and it is a real big issue with me when I rewatch this. And it is I cannot stand the soundtrack.
Oh, really? See, I don't remember the soundtrack. But I know part of it's Elvis because I'm a huge Elvis fan. But Val Kilmer plays.
No, it's the theme that reoccurs, in throughout the film. It really, really irks me.
I hope you just didn't ruin this for me. I'm gonna watch it again, and I'm gonna be like, "Holy fuck, he's right. This soundtrack is shit." Oh wow. Steve, have you watched Escape Room Tournament of Champions? I said to April, go watch a Saw movie.
No, I had. This was one that it didn't play very long in the theaters. It didn't come around here, so I didn't get a chance to see it locally, and it's still not on Google Play. And I can't find this movie anywhere. I've been looking for weeks. So,
Greg, who's one of the managers over at That's Entertainment on, I always get it wrong, Lake Street, Ontario Street.
Lake Street.
Lake Street in St. Catharines, Ontario. Go check him out. One of the last bastions of going and renting videos out there. Desperado. I love Desperado. That's Robert Rodriguez, though. That's not Tarantino. But him and Dusk Till Dawn is Rodriguez and Tarantino. But I think Rodriguez actually directs that movie. I don't think Tarantino actually directs any of that. I think they wrote it together.
Yeah,
I think they wrote. I actually think Tarantino wrote the whole thing, if I'm being honest, or he gets credit for it all. I'm sure Rodriguez put.
Definitely comes across as very Tarantino-ish in the writing and the dialogue.
Did you like it?
I like Dusk Till Dawn. Yeah, I mean Harvey Keitel, Juliette Lewis, like
Cheech, Danny Trejo. I mean, fuck, man, so good.
Sex Machine, Tom Savini.
Remember, he was a dick to us, though.
Yeah, he was. That was really heartbreaking.
It was, but whatever. I get it. He's there to do a job.
I've heard similar stories from friends of ours.
Yes, me too. Like multiple times. I heard if you're one of those fans that shows up all the time, and you always pay for his shit, he starts to be really nice to you. But man, that's a lot of work. Cash. I love Melanie Laurent in Glorious Bastards again. I don't know who that is, honestly.
Yeah, it's been so long since I saw it.
It was Tony Scott, not Ridley Scott. Thank you. Escape Room Tournament of Champions presented by Blum. Shut the fuck up. Both are great, Greg. All right, well, that's it. Like we were gonna do like where you could ask us anything you want, but this has been 2.5 hours. I mean, if you have a quick question you want to get in there before we say goodbye, but Steve and I are going to do our little thing where we talk about what we might talk about next week. If you have that long to ask us a question, and Steve's not wife.
My my movie review next week will be Free Guy. So
Free
Guy.
I know, but isn't his name Guy?
Is it Guy?
I think his name in the movie is actually Guy.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And as we see here in the poster, Ryan Reynolds and everybody's favorite grandpa, Taika Waititi, there at the bottom, who is obviously a part of this as well. And you know what I forgot? Have you ever seen the Green Lantern movie with Reynolds?
I did see it, yeah, long. Like
his best friend in that movie is Taika Waititi.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so yeah, it's sad. Free Guy looks great. Yes, it does. Peace. Great show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Well, you guys are great. Thanks for the show. Cheers, Puff. Until next week. Yes, I'm going to start puffing and drinking some more. Yeah, that's basically all I got. Steve, you got anything to go out on?
That's it, man. Have a good week. Be safe.
Thanks, Luke, with your Blumhouse. Yes, I do want to echo that. Have a great weekend. Be safe. It's Saturday. Enjoy your weekend. Because before you know it's going to be Monday. So, nobody likes Mondays. I don't know why.
Everybody always asks what my favorite day of the week is, and usually people say Friday or Saturday. My favorite day of the week is Tuesday, because it's the furthest day away from next Monday.
Well played. And here I thought it was because it was Taco Tuesday. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you had a good time watching the show. I do want to say this before we go really quickly. Most of you are probably gone. I should have said this at the beginning of the show. So I started doing these Facebook Reels, like from TikTok, taking my TikTok videos and posting them on Facebook Reels about 2 weeks ago now. It's only been about 2 weeks. And in those 2 weeks, I got 4,000 followers And a lot of you freak out and stuff when you meet me in public and ask me why. I don't get it either. I don't understand it. I'm happy that you do. But Facebook was just doing a trial thing, it turns out, and I'm not able to post any more of those. So if you want to see any more of my reels, you got to go to TikTok, follow me at Zeus Fleming, or go to Instagram, and we post them there as well. And that is easy. It's ratg_TV. You can see it right beside Steve's head there. So give us a follow there, and you can see them there. I hope everybody had a good time. I hope everybody enjoyed the show. Sometimes Tuesday is just Monday part 2. That is fucking correct.
Sure.
That's why Friday at around 4 o'clock is always my favorite. I can't like or comment. You've been commenting the entire show. And with that, I want to say thanks to this one. If I meet you guys in person, tell your missus you ain't coming gone. I'm sure he meant coming home because we'd be drinking. And I just want to tell you, I don't have a missus. Steve doesn't technically have a missus, but his missus would be right there and drinking us all under the table. So for the Welland Wingnut, for his wife, not wife, the Amber Wingnut, I'm your boy Zeus. I hope you all have a great weekend, and we'll see you all next time. Peace.